Hey, welcome everybody to the Shipwreck Podcast. We back. We are back. We are back. We are back once again. We are in an undisclosed location. Because this episode, we're gonna be talking about we're putting our tinfoil hats on, and we're gonna be talking conspiracies. And bombs are dropping all over this world right now. And I wanted to keep my family safe. So I'm in an undisclosed location. Hopefully our internet will work better than it did last night when we did try to do the results for the Texas primaries and the primaries that happened all throughout the country yesterday. So we're going to see how this goes. You know, we might just get cut off just simply because we talking conspiracies today. Anybody that knows me know that I am not one for conspiracies at all. I don't really believe in them. I don't really think about them. I don't give that my attention, my energy. But to be honest, the Epstein files has changed things for me. To be honest, it has made me look at things differently because I know, um, of course, I don't think the pizza part of it was real when it comes to QAnon and all that stuff, but I think it was definitely some truth to it, and that's being borne out with reality now. So I want to talk about it. I am not afraid to say when I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to say when I'm right either. So I wanted to have us have a discussion and us just talk about not just QAnon, but Epstein, but any conspiracies we got, and they're all on the table today. And they're all on the table. If you got one you want to talk about, bring it up. I'm really, really, really looking forward to hearing from people today to discuss these conspiracies and the truth in behind them, because I will say, like I said again, I can't say QAnon was completely true, but it was definitely some truth in it. But before we start with that, last night we got off the air and we did not have an official result to the election. We didn't have an official result yet for a lot of them, but I wanted to cover specifically the Jasmine and James race because it has been called. If you don't know, Jasmine conceded earlier this morning to losing in the race. Um, so I wanted to touch on that first. We already have some shipmates that's ready to get on, so we're gonna bring them on here and get this show on the road because I think this is gonna be a good one. This will be a good one, and because I'm in this undisclosed location, unless the internet takes us out, we could probably go a little long today, to be honest. First up, bring always on the pod and always a shipmate for us. Ronnie, welcome, my brother. How you doing today?
What's good? What's good, my brother, man? What's good? Good.
Not too
Long
much.
time,
Not
long
too
see,
much.
huh?
Yeah. But we got a result today. We got a result, so we can talk
Yeah.
about that. And that's gonna be the first thing we talk about before we get into the big topic of conspiracies. Because I am really I want to be educated today. I want to be educated on what's out there and I'm gonna call bullshit on what I think is bullshit, and I'm gonna be say what's plausible and what's could possibly be the truth as well. We got another shipmate that's been on before. Um, Welcome, OJ. How you doing today, my brother?
What up, man? What up,
What's
though?
going on? What's going on?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I
Can
appreciate
y'all
you
hear me?
coming on. Yeah, we got you loud and clear. We got you loud and clear.
All
So
right.
I appreciate you coming on again, as well. I'm like I said, I'm really looking forward to this one. I think I'm gonna do it another angle on this one. I'm really looking forward to this one, this pod, um, just simply because this is out of my element. I don't know him, Lex. I am not a conspiracy guy whatsoever, but shit is coming true. I mean, I'm just being honest. A lot of conspiracies that is coming true, and so I want to be educated. I want to learn about them. I want to hear, and then, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna agree with all of them. I don't know if I'm gonna disagree with any of them. So, but I'm looking forward to it. But before we go there, I do want to talk about the election on hand that happened last night with our dear sister Jasmine lost in a race to to James Tallarico. And I wanted to show a video just quick, just a synopsis of what the numbers look like. And then I have another video that because I think it's a pressing question. after we look at this first video, because I think personally things played out, and because y'all had to convince me to vote for Jasmine because I didn't think for Texas she was the right candidate because of the demographics. And honestly, the primary played out how I thought it would. I did vote for Jasmine. I did want her to win, but the primary played out like I thought it would when it came to the numbers. And I just want to play the video, and then I got another video, then we're going to get into a discussion before we get to a couple topics. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Iran war. Then we go all conspiracies into that after that.
Welcome back to Meet the Press Now. If it's Wednesday, we have election results. And the first primaries of this midterm election year certainly had their share of surprises and some confusion as well. The big story coming overnight with NBC News projecting State Representative James Tallarico has defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett to win the Democratic nomination in the race for U.S. Senate. Crockett conceding the race this morning to the 36-year-old Tallarico, who has won more than 53% of the vote. But we don't know his general election opponent yet. NBC News is projecting that the Republican race between Senator John Cornyn and Attorney General Ken Paxton will advance to a runoff on May 26th, with neither candidate able to get to 50% last night. President Trump, however, clearly not keen on Texas Republicans engaging in a bruising battle ahead of the general election, saying today on social media that he will be making his endorsement in the race soon and that he will be asking the candidate that I don't endorse to immediately drop out of the race.
Because he's basically saying whoever I pick to endorse, the other one needs to drop out. So fuck the people and their choices. You know, fuck the people and their choices. Whoever I say should be the next senator, that's who it should be. And y'all just bow down and just you choose who I choose. So I'm just continuing with this video, but that's what that
post coming after both Republicans ripped into each other last night.
I've worked for decades to build the Republican Party, both here in Texas and nationally. I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build over these many years.
For too long, John Cornyn has turned his back on us. For too long, he attacked the border wall by calling it naive and pushed amnesty while our country was being invaded. For too long, he stabbed our president in the back by trying to derail his presidential campaigns and supporting the Democrats' lawfare against the president.
Steve Kornacki joins me from his home away from home, the big board. Steve, great to see you. So you and I were up late last night. Hope you got a few hours of sleep. Tell us how he did it. How did James Tallarico pull off his primary victory? And what does that tell us about Tallarico's potential chances in a general election? Reminder, folks, a Democrat hasn't won a Senate race in more than 3 decades in Texas.
Yeah, a couple things I think went into this, Kristen. First of all, you see here, I think you start right around Tallarico's political base here, which is in the Austin area, Travis County, right outside of it, too. You saw him run up monster numbers there, get monster turnout to go along with that. And I think that was part of a pattern that you saw throughout the state last night, which is the voters in particular who powered him around Austin and in some other pockets of the state, a lot of white, college-educated, sort of white-collar professional voters. We've talked about that demographic becoming more and more Democratic nationally, being highly engaged in the Trump era, extremely anti-Trump, very motivated to turn out and vote. That demographic really got behind Tallarico. It delivered big numbers from around his base in Austin, but it also allowed him to make some incursions up here.
So I'm going to just stop it here right here because we already knew, we knew he was going to get the white vote. We knew Jasmine was going to get the black vote. I don't think that was contentious at all. But it's the Hispanic one for me. And when he got the endorsement of the Hispanic newspaper and coalition in Texas, that's when I knew it was going to definitely be an issue. Just to continue on.
This is the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. A ton of votes came out of here. You do see this was Crockett winning in Dallas County. That's where her district is. But right outside Dallas, north of Dallas in Collin County, Denton County, you see Tallarico was able to make pretty big incursions in Crockett's backyard. Again, powered by that sort of, white suburban vote that really turned out in droves, turned out for him. And the ultimate difference maker for him, I think, was in South Texas here, heavily Hispanic areas. He beat Crockett, 2-1. He beat her by 30 points.
2-1. That's huge. That's huge, and that's why, to me, honestly, I was saying all along that when it came to Texas, he was the better candidate for Texas, simply because I think he would have gotten the Hispanic vote over Jasmine, not just in the primary, but in a general as well. So I'm gonna continue on, and then I got one more video that's gonna really spark our interest in that because I want to hear about it.
Here, so all of that, I think, added up to the difference that you see right here. What kept Crockett in it was the black vote. All of the counties that you see here, just about all of the counties you see here for Crockett, significant black population there. She clearly won the black vote overwhelmingly in this primary.
Well, it's just fascinating to see that turnout. And of course, your point about Hispanics, Steve, that could very well be a big determining factor once we get to the general election. Let me ask you about some of the House races, though. What were some of your biggest takeaways from the House races, Steve?
Yeah, I mean,
all right, so that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about there. Because, again, Texas is actually a minority state. It's a majority minority state, meaning Hispanics plus African Americans. There are more minorities in Texas than they are whites. That's just a fact. But you have to get those people to come out and vote. And so getting the Hispanic community on board was going to be a big challenge and big issue. And this is why I wanted to play this next video, and then I really want to have an honest discussion about it. So let's go.
Just real quick, but this to my Latino brothers and sisters that follow me on here. I'm trying to get y'all to educate me on something. I'm being dead ass serious. I ain't even being funny. I'm trying to see kind of what y'all feel. I'm trying to let y'all educate me on it because I don't want to be viewing y'all the wrong way. So I'm trying to figure out, do y'all feel like y'all align more with black folk, or do y'all feel like y'all align more with Caucasian? Like, and the reason I say that is because when I used to hear black and brown people, and I always thought we was like jointed to the hip. Like, I always thought we was the black folk, Latino, brown, So I always thought we kind of shared some of the same struggles, same hardships, same, just, we were similar. I remember growing up, all my Latino buddies, they was on what I was on. Absolutely. But now that I look at it, it ain't as clear to me.
I don't hear anything.
And I'm trying to ask y'all,
It'll catch up.
do y'all feel, Latino brothers and sisters, do y'all feel y'all are more
I got plies on my screen.
Black folk? Or do y'all feel like y'all are now more aligned with Caucasians? And I don't know if y'all feel like y'all more aligned with Caucasians, or if y'all inspired to be more like them than y'all do black folk. I don't know. I'm fine with it either way. I'm just trying to get clarity on it, because it's not as clear to me now than it used to be. Like, I used to think we was in the same fight. But now when I see things, I remember the last election talking to Latino folk, and they, oh, no, he gonna give us money, he gonna, and I used to be like, God damn, like, that's the motherfucker want to get y'all out of here. And the only reason I'm asking, because I need to know who I'm defending. Like, I don't want to be defending no motherfucker who don't even fuck with me, for real. So I'm asking so I know who I should and shouldn't be defending. So if y'all can just help me understand y'all thought process and who y'all feel y'all align more with, because I've seen, political candidates, black person, white person, and y'all motherfuckers, y'all be over there. So I'm just trying to get clarity on that. If y'all can help educate me on this, I surely appreciate it. And it's love either way.
All right. I think this
I got the gist of it. I'm cool. I already know where you're going.
Yeah. So so it cut out for you. You couldn't hear it at all either?
I heard like probably 90% of it. It's just going in and out. But I got the gist of exactly what he was saying.
Okay. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I
I know exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, our internet is messed up. And I'm gonna just speak first because I grew up around Puerto Ricans, and they to this day, they my family. You know what I mean? Like the Puerto Rican family that I grew up with next across the street from me. They are my brothers and sisters. I love them to death, and I would never stop loving them. And the first thing I want to say is, when it comes to Latinos and Hispanics, they aren't a monolith. Like, it's not just like Black people, African Americans. We are who we are. Like we may have came from, whether it's the Senegal, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's all the other West African countries. We are African American because we don't know which one we came from, to be honest. However, when you think about the Hispanics, they know they're Mexican, they're Puerto Rican, they're Cuban, they're Venezuelan, they're Costa Rican, the Ecuadorian, they're Colombian, they're Brazil isn't so much Hispanic, but like there's different, there's other people. I mean, so they don't have one train of thought when it comes to that, or anything like that. So for us, or for them, I just think it's it's different. But the question I think is still outstanding to ask is do Latino Hispanics see themselves more aligned with white folks than Black folks? And again, this is not one of those things. Anybody that's been in this podcast before, we definitely address race and we talk about race a lot, but it's not one of those things where we're like us versus them or anything like that. What we are talking about is we just asking the question. We having honest conversations here, So it ain't one of those things. You either us with us or either with them. But at the same point, where do you see yourself as? Because from the outside looking in, I see how the country and white folks as I ain't gonna say as a whole, but a lot of white folks see Hispanics as no different than us. They don't belong here, and they have no right to anything more than Black folks. But do Hispanics see themselves aligning more with white folks? All right, I'm gonna go to Ronnie. You've been here. Go ahead. How do you feel about that? And then not only that, but also the Jasmine thing, and as a whole, we go Ronnie, we're gonna go Black, and we're gonna go OJ.
So for me, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I got you now.
Okay, yeah. So for me, everybody is individual, and I think it's depending on what location in the United States they are. It depends on, in that sense, where people are going to vote. Where our Hispanic brothers and sisters are going to vote. Are all Black people the same? No. See, some Africans don't like American Black people. Some people, I mean, everybody, every I guess nationality, if you call it that, because I think just everybody human, but every nationality is different. Puerto Ricans don't like Dominicans. You know what I'm saying? Same fucking island. Kind of strange to me. You know what I mean? Like, so
no, that's different island. They're next to each other.
But you understand what I'm saying? Or Haitians don't like Dominicans. You know what I mean? It's like this. It's weird like that. But we all the same people, right? I'm gonna speak specifically on a Texas point, because I'm not gonna put all my brothers and sisters like that in the box. I can't do that because I know folk that ride or die for me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. But for what I can see from outside in, coming from my point of view and what happened here, and I believe in Texas, or even the last election, it's almost kind of what we talked about in before is they don't see a Black woman as a leader like that. They are a male-dominated group, right? Male-dominated people. Men are usually in charge of everything, right? Usually, which kind of is strange because there are, I think, a few, female presidents that are in southern.
They're in Hispanic countries.
Yeah.
Mexico has a female president.
Right. So I throw that out. So it's not about the female. You see where I'm going? Okay. It ain't got nothing to do with the female as a leader. So they always say that, it's because it's a female leader, Yeah, it's male dominated, but if you go look at the countries that mostly represent our Hispanic brothers and sisters, there's a few female Hispanic leaders, right? Which is kind of strange. But anyway, so what other causes would you think will make a person go vote for someone else? I mean,
well,
maybe.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just want to give Vanessa what she said. She said, is it a white black thing or is it a religious thing?
No,
You think that could play a part in it?
so
I personally don't.
So
I mean, other than they're Catholic and black folks are more Protestant, but black folks are very conservative when it comes to religion.
well, it could be like it's the point. Like, but I'm gonna stick on this a couple of things, right? Because you can actually go through a whole bunch of different types, split it up. I mean, if you think about it, it could be everything could be right. It could be that men dominated. It could be a black woman. It could be, excuse me, a religious thing. It could be, they relate more toward our lighter hued people that we have, right? So in my opinion, why he probably got, I don't know what the breakdown was, how many Hispanic votes. They don't show that part. They just talk about, oh, she got all these black people. No, it wasn't just all black people, because it's way more than 1.2, however many million black people. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not that many voting like that anyway right now, right? So I don't like them to put that in the box, but when they try to split us up even further, it's stupid. So people got to put on their thinking hat. I think it's just whatever. He probably did get a larger majority of our Hispanic brothers and sisters. However, you have to break things down to where it's what's obvious, right? Well, she's a woman. Well, they have women that's in charge of households there in those communities. Normally, it's a male. What splits them up? Well, could it be religion? Nah, she's pretty conservative. She's kind of, she's a Christian, and a lot of our Hispanic people are Christians, and some, like you said, they go to other religious shit. I mean, but what else is the determining factor? Is she a young black woman that they see as not being a leader? Well, they can't say that either. She was already in the state representative. She was already in Congress in the federal level, and she was always very professional. She's a big Texas proponent. She always rep Texas. So what do you think it could be? Right. So could it be because her hue was a lot darker and they don't think that she'll be able to relate more to them as the lighter hued Tallarico dude? I don't know. Did they see him more than they saw her in Texas? I highly doubt it. So did Tallarico have more money spent on his campaign than she did?
He did. He did. He spent more money.
Right. So
he had more money.
Right. Who did the DNC back? Who did the DNC back? Did they back Tallarico, or did they back Jasmine, or did they wait till whoever wins and then they throw all their money back? You understand what I mean? So,
the DNC. I don't think the DNC as a whole. Yeah.
Right. So until somebody wins, right? Until they know who they can put most of their money behind, right? In the past, was it that way? No, I don't know if it was or not. Did Tallarico do this so he can become a senator and probably have more impact for Texas? Yeah, I'm sure he did. However, my last thing, and I'll leave it at this. I know we got other people that want to comment. Is I think the messaging didn't get out there enough, and they did this to confuse people to not go out there and vote. Some of those votes that weren't able to be counted because the Republicans, and I'm gonna put that out there, the Republicans in Texas muddied the water.
Yeah, they did that.
You know what I'm saying?
They did. So that's on a campaign. That's on a campaign not to get that word out, because this is the first I heard of them not being able, because I'm in Texas, so we early vote in Texas. You can vote anywhere. The campaign, to my knowledge, didn't put the word out that on election day you can't do like you normally have been able to do before.
Right.
You need to go to your exact polling place.
Right. How far in advance did they put that out?
Yeah.
Was it readily available? Did they hold on? So did they mail it out to did they mail it out to recipients? Did they email it out? Did they talk about it on the news repeatedly over and over, getting closer and closer? Did she put it out? Did Tallarico put it out? Did the Republicans put it out? You feel what I'm saying? Like, those are kind of things that you gotta look into, the type of things that was happening, right? Did the Republicans get the message? I mean, it looked like they showed up pretty cool at their polling places. The Democrats had an issue. right? What do you think happened here? Was it communication between each of the parties? I highly doubt that. I would assume that the Republican people that normally go vote to their normal place, they went to the normal place they always go to. They didn't have to, I'm sure.
But again,
I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So in Texas, when it comes to early voting, it is anywhere in a county you can go. It's not specific to your precinct until the day of the voting when it comes to the actual election in November.
Right.
So usually you can go anywhere and vote. Usually there's an MOU, a memorandum of understanding between both parties to say, hey, we're going to keep this countywide throughout the entire election. The Republicans decided not to do that MOU that they've been doing for 20, 30 plus years until they actually came out with it January 1st of this year is when they said they decided, no, we're not going to do it. So there was a whole month and a half that the campaign, Jasmine's campaign, in my estimation, should, my opinion, should have gotten that message out there because I didn't hear about it. And I got family members that live in the Dallas County. You know what I'm saying? Like that, hey, on election, go vote early, go vote early because on election day, it's going to be confusion and you may not know where you need to go vote.
Right. No, I get that. That's my point. Like, was it the messaging portion of it? Did his Hispanic brothers and sisters, what was her policies that, did they relate more toward one hue than another? I don't know what all her policies were that she talked about in Texas. Was her so it could be, like I said, it could be so many different factors that could be saying, hey, well, why ain't they, why ain't the brothers and sisters or the assumed people that should be on the same side? Why didn't they happen? Well, it's so many different factors. That's potentially a big factor. You feel what I'm saying? So I think and I close with this. I think it was messaging. I think it was a message, just like what you said. Is one, it could have been her policies. Two, it could have been the messaging to get out, say, hey, this is where you need to vote. And three, it could have been her messaging to the wider community of our people. I don't know if she was specific. I'm sure she was talking to all the Texans. However, maybe her messaging wasn't relative or relevant enough to our Hispanic brothers and sisters. And his message, or Mr. Tallarico's message, was right. So that could be the bigger part of it.
He definitely spoke more about religion than she did.
And
she isn't religious at all.
Here's one other thing I think about. And here's another thing I think about.
Hold on. I want to let Black go. I want to let go Black go. Hold it. Black, go ahead, my brother.
What up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What up, Black?
How y'all doing today?
You look good.
As for the campaign and why Hispanics tend to side with the white people, it's not one issue, it's a multitude of issues. And of course, race plays a part, I believe, because we've allowed somebody to control our narrative for so long until if you don't grow up around Black people, you will have a stereotypical view of what Black people would do. And it comes down to trust. Can I trust them? Now, if you grew up in the hood with, Mexicans and stuff like that, then they got a different view because they like, shit, y'all just like us. We all, in the same boat for the most part. And of course, religion played a part. Of course, Black and white played a part. And of course, male versus female played a part. Some people just not going to vote for a woman, and definitely a Black woman. They think that Black women are attitudinal and they can't lead, and they gonna change their mind every day or every week is gonna be something different. And I don't like her eyelashes, and look at her hair. She thinks she this. It's a multitude of reasons why Hispanics or even white people will not vote for a Black female at that, or a Black person or a Black female even more. So it's hard to pinpoint why, but again, it don't take but 40, 50,000 people that will sway and say, I can't vote for a Black woman because my last Black girlfriend or the girlfriend I talked to in elementary school, she broke up with me and I hate all Black women. So it's trying to pinpoint why they don't. It's a lot of reasons, and everybody has their own reason. It might only be 10,000 people that won't vote for a woman, but then there's another 10,000 that won't vote for a Black person. Then there's another 10,000 that just think that women can't lead. Then there's another 10,000, and so by the time all of this add up, you got enough to win. I don't care how bad you are. And before I go any further, I want to say DEI is in full effect because electing Tallarico or nominating Tallarico, there's no way he's more qualified than Jasmine. So he's going to end up being a DEI hire. As much as they talk about trying to get rid of DEI, they just don't like it because again, that is controlling the narrative because most people think DEI hires is all black people or minorities at a minimum. And we know from statistics, it's not. We know who get hired because of DEI. And this is a prime example of Tallarico being nominated. As far as getting the message out for the voting, and you got to vote in your own district on the day of, or your own polling place on the day of voting. We need to take onus ourselves. We wait till the last minute to do a lot of stuff. And we had 2 or I think 10 days. No, I think it was 12 days. 12 days total to go vote. I always early vote. I don't wait till because anything can happen. My polling place could catch a fire, and then I gotta drive across town, and it may not get. As soon as I can go vote, I go vote. And I think early voting is one of the best things ever. And I don't know why everybody won't take advantage of that.
Every
Yeah,
state should have early voting.
absolutely. And the fact
Again,
that we have it here, and we still I think there was only 140,000 Democrats have voted by election day. That is crazy to me. We should have only about 50,000 people on election day in Texas because everybody should vote early vote. So the fact that they did know, yeah, Jasmine could her campaign could take some responsibility, but as much as Republicans mess with the voting, I don't leave it up to nobody. I'm gonna check the rules every voting cycle to see if anything changed. I'm gonna go check and make sure I'm registered every single voting cycle to make sure that they hadn't kicked me off the poll for some crazy ass reason. So I take that accountability and responsibility for myself and my entire family. I check every time, and we all pretty much go vote at the same time. I say we going to vote this day. Be ready. So to constantly wait to the last minute, we got to get out of this habit of waiting for somebody to tell us what to do and take accountability. And since we know voting is important, a lot of people may not think it is, but at the end of the day, that's the system that we are in. So voting is very important, and it's a huge responsibility for us to participate in trying to get people in there who actually care about the people and not working for APAC. Because that's what the shit is. Damn near every politician is under APAC's control. So that's my 2 cents.
So that's going to lead us to a next one because I think that's the perfect segue to APAC's control because for those who don't know, Apex is an Israeli PAC for Israel, and that's going to lead us to the next one, which is going to go into the war. Before we get to our last conspiracies and stuff. So I'm gonna play a couple videos and then I'm gonna just let y'all fly. But actually, before I go, I want to give OJ. OJ, you still there? I don't know if your camera went on. I didn't know if he had anything to say or not. All right, so I'm gonna play this next video and go and get into what's popping again, which is the Iran war that has happened this past week.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they want.
I should have set this up better. So let me start with this. Number one, if you're watching, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Facebook, share it. Please share this page because that's how we make the community grow. We are growing. If you're on Facebook, also go to the YouTube, hit like, subscribe, and watch it on there as well. The more eyeballs that we get, the bigger our community can grow, and we can continue to push this thing along. But this video right here is basically showing the hypocrisy that is Donald J. Trump. When it comes to this just the Iran war, in particular. We all know he's a walking liar. He's a walking hypocrite. But this is just shows side by side, and I'm surprised CNN did it. That's why they're going to be going here in a little bit once Paramount takes over. But I just want to play it. I'm start it over again, and then just so you can see the complete and utter hypocrisy when it comes to Donald J. Trump.
Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. This was our last best chance to strike. We more and more are not wanting to be the policemen of the world. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. She would get us into World War III. They're drafting you to go and fight in some country that I've never heard. We may have casualties. That often happens in war. Sadly,
I just want to stop right there, just because how flippant he has been on American casualties. It's like people go, if they die like Drago and fucking Rocky IV. It's ridiculous.
While his son is too tall to serve.
Yeah, he's too tall to serve. His son is too tall to serve because he's 6'7".
David Robson 7 feet.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit. Let's finish this and then we go and then we're going.
There will likely be more.
Dr. Ross.
Right. And then I'm gonna play just one more of just them, the hypocrisy or the bullshit of them, because they know they need to go to. Can y'all see me? I don't see you. Oh, okay. The bullshit of they know they got to go to Congress for authorization for a war, but they don't want to call it a war because if they call it a war, then they know they got to go to Congress.
Which they already don't call it a war.
Yeah. So this is the hypocrisy of this bullshit.
And we may have casualties. That often happens in war.
I don't know if this is technically a war.
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
This isn't a war. We haven't declared war.
The Secretary of Defense, who calls himself the Secretary of War, said today this is a war.
We set the terms of this war from start to finish.
Nobody should classify this as war. It is combat operations.
War is hell and always will be.
Strategic strikes are not.
So look, all you need to know is the fact that they changed the name from the Department of Defense to Department of War. And that's what they're waging. That's what they're waging. I'm gonna go to OJ. You up first, and then and Vanessa. Welcome back, my sister. You're gonna go next. Go ahead, OJ.
You guys can hear me. You can hear me.
We got you. You can go. You can go into the Jasmine conversation we had as well too, because you didn't get a chance to talk about that, and then as well as this Iran thing, and then we're gonna go all the way through.
All right. My only statement for Jasmine Crockett is those Hispanics, they're gonna FAFO. That's
they
all
already
I can
are.
say.
Yeah, they already are. Yeah,
they gonna FAFO. This war. Well, they classifying it as a war, and it can't be classified as war, which is correct. It has to go to Congress. So, what are we doing over there? I mean, I still don't understand. What are we doing over there? There is nothing over there. Well, that's basically it.
That's
because
what's happening. That's
basically it. Because the last time they wanted to release the Epstein files, something came up. They went to Venezuela. You know, now they released the Epstein files. Now they want to go. They want to go to Iran. So it's just taking people's taking their mind and their thoughts from the Epstein files. What's gonna happen next? I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you exactly once Vanessa's done.
Well, what's gonna happen next? I think it's gonna be at one point in time. I think they was talking about Nigeria. They was talking about us being over in Nigeria.
It's Cuba's next. Cuba's next. If I had to bet, Cuba is next. If as far as us trying to topple a country, Cuba would be next on the list. The problem is, I think they bit off more than they can chew with this Iran shit. They number one, the messaging is terrible. They don't have a coherent message don't have a coherent reason to do what they're doing. So they just throwing shit at the wall and trying to see what sticks. And then Iran is saying, we're gonna make this shit painful. Last time y'all bombed us, we hit y'all back and we told y'all we gonna hit where we're gonna hit you back at. This time, fuck that, because you killed our supreme leader. We coming at you now. We know you trying to topple the whole shit. And so you got people that they ain't trying to fight like a normal fight. They picking up bricks. My papa always told me, if you got a motherfucker that's bigger than you, at some point you got to pick up a brick, you got to pick up a bottle. Look, you got to do what you got to do. You got to come out of there. You got to come out of there victorious. And that's what they're doing. That's why they going after Dubai and the airports and the hotels. That's why they're going after infrastructure when it comes to the global world oil production, cutting off the Strait of Hormuz. They're doing all of these different things because it's an existential threat. If they play nice now, they may all be gone in a month or 2 weeks or a year from now. They gotta make it hurt for the United States, in my opinion.
Yeah, so far off.
Okay, all right. We're gonna give you the floor because we get into our conspiracy.
Oh, go ahead, Vanessa.
Vanessa,
hey, Mama,
welcome back to the pod. Do you have anything, whether it's Jasmine or the Iran thing so far, before we get into our conspiracies?
A little bit of everything. I pretty much agree with everything Black said about what happened with the vote. I think that I don't know. I think it's just really interesting, all of the polling place discrepancies that are coming up. And I get what you're saying about like Democrats don't take accountability for how we get people to the polls and how we support them, having the information and getting word out and stuff. I that's true, I think, everywhere. The place I used to work at, we used to rent out, we had rental spaces and we would give them away for free for the Democratic Party and the Republican Party for the county that wants to like meet and discuss like polling stuff and just the protocol and the rules, and they come in with binders and they do like a training session, and then those people go work the polls, and we would have the space for that. And when I tell you, the Republican Party met constantly, and in the 4 years I worked at that place, the Democratic Party probably did it twice. And there's a difference in the approach. And I think Democrats are, I think it's a little like, it's almost like unaware, or like when we talk about how rich people, out of touch. Okay, I couldn't think of the word. I think it's out of touch with, and it's a little bit self-centered. Like they think everybody thinks like them, or everybody's going to behave like them, or they take for granted that people have the same information they have, or think, get new information and process it and apply it the same way they're going to. And so it's like, well, it's common sense. Everybody should know. And that's not the case. You have to Democrats are terrible at messaging. And I think that really hurt her. And I think that he also got a leg up. The places he was invited, and the places like Bill Maher and Stephen Colbert, and there's no way to count the impact that had, that she didn't go do those things too. I don't know why, because there's the controversy.
He has been on Colbert before. I'm sure she was probably invited on Bill Maher before.
But within the weeks of so close to the voting, to get her back in your face. And you know what I'm saying? I think the proximity to the date that her face mattered. You know what I'm saying? I think that created a lot of distance. And when he was on Bill Maher, he was up against Boebert. So it was almost like just this masterful composition where they had Boebert espousing just crazy right-wing Christian nationalist stuff. And then he got to come back as the Christian with balance and nuance and integrity. And he seemed so reasonable. And I completely think he is. I think most of what he says is reasonable. But compared to her, instead of being like, okay, that's a solid dude, it was like he was amazing. Because of how crazy she is, she just made him look better. But then you get all those, and that's one of the reasons why I think religion played a part in the Hispanic vote. I think that his Christianity was so forward in how he presents himself. It was approachable. I'm leaving the Republican Party, and you want me out here in the wilderness with these crazy Democrats I got to choose from. I'm going to the one that's most familiar. And I think his Christianity played a humongous role in that. I also think that,
Go ahead.
yeah.
So think what? Let's think what? Go ahead. I want you to forget your train of thought, but I remember my
Oh,
question. Go ahead.
me? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't. Okay. I think the other thing was that she is unapologetically I don't know the word, because she just is, she's so real. She says exactly what she's thinking. She's not taking your shit. And so she gets that label. She's argumentative. She talks back. There's a lot of words that I'm not going to use that we know are used to describe her. And it's the most unfair. The men across the aisle are saying the same shit. Bobert and Marjorie Taylor Greene are doing the same kind of crap. They're microaggressions and they're outright racist, in your face bullshit that's undeniable. She is carrying so much more than he does in the first place. So her challenges were already so astronomical compared to him.
Absolutely
I
agree.
I hope that we find a place for her, because we need her voice and we need her integrity. We need her muscle and her doggedness. We need the fight that she's got. We need her agenda everywhere. So like part of me is like, I'm sad that she's not found the place in her, where she cares about Texas, but I really hope that this pushes her national. That's, what I hope.
Yeah.
But that's my
So
take on that.
I'm gonna start with the bottom thing first. With what you just said last first. The first thing I would say is I wish that they never went against each other for the Senate. I think there was enough room for one of them, and they would have helped each other out. If one would have said, "I'm going against Abbott," one had said, "I'm going against Cornyn," or going for the Senate. So one goes for governor, one goes for, and then you would have got to get out the vote without any issues. Because let's say, for instance, Talarico went for governor, he would have got the Hispanics to come out for him. He would have got the whites to come out for him. He would have got all of these other disenfranchised young people, because he actually got more young people voted for him than Crockett. That's just the numbers. And so he would have had them coming out. Jasmine would have had the black folks coming out, and more disenfranchised people that don't normally vote. And they're all gonna be in the same voting booth, and they're all gonna say, shoot, I'm voting for Abbott. I'm voting for Talarico for governor, or her for governor, and I'm voting for him for senator, because we're all sitting here. I'm already here.
Right.
So now it would have stopped and helped. It would have created the fracture that we got now, that we got to heal. Because we do. We got a fracture that we have to heal now. And I think that she made it a good step of conceding and saying that she's going to support him and help bring it together. But you're still going to have people with bad taste in their mouth, whether it's the stuff that, with the precincts, which he had no control over. That wasn't him, that was Kim Paxton that did that. But they're still going to be pushed on to him. I'm gonna just say, so
It's
like,
benefiting.
yeah,
That
and,
guy, that
so
character.
so my wife feels like he's going to be painted as a racist and a Christian nationalist because of his religious beliefs. So my question to you, Vanessa, is: do you think that's possible to actually, for people to believe it, because he talks about his Christianity so much, that people may look at him as the new Fetterman, and I say Fetterman changed once he had his stroke, and I think his mind just went. He got
Yeah.
rid of after that. But that was after he had a stroke. He is not the same person he was before his stroke.
Right.
But do you see her? Could you see her? Not her. See Talarico being painted as a Christian nationalist, or under, and she's even said she believes that he may be even undercover MAGA. I don't see that. I honestly don't. So, and I'm
I don't
asking
think
you. And, go ahead.
I don't think he's undercover MAGA. And I'm going to go back to when we were talking about the 10 Commandments in schools. And I think his the questioning he did when they were having those debates, and the speeches that he gave, and talking about the people in his community that don't adhere to the Ten Commandments, or that they're, they're, I think that even though he did not get his way, I think the things that he were fighting for were more inclusive. Um, I also don't put anything past anybody, and everyone's corruptible, I think, to a certain point, you know what I'm saying? So do I think that they might frame him and back him into a corner? I could totally see that happening. I could also see him going, you know what? I don't agree with this, and my Christianity is going to force me to do that. But his Christianity seems more like the kind that is it's not about nationalism. It's private. It's not about, it's not, it maybe influences how he makes his decisions, but it's not something he's trying to get to influence your decisions. And I think that that's the difference, is that white nationalists, especially Christian nationalists, want to influence your choices and your decisions.
Absolutely.
And I think that that separates him.
Absolutely. OJ, you got something? Because I know you've been
I'm just listening. I'm listening because a lot of this stuff that's going on, I'm just bewildered. I need to go hit the lottery and buy me an island where establish my own thing. That's me, man.
Okay.
This is too much going on.
Vanessa, what you said? What you think about Iran? Oh yeah, she missed it.
I'm still.
I don't know if she heard me or not.
Want to buy me an island?
She froze.
Yeah, he was asking, how do you feel about the Iran?
Yeah, that was one of that was the other question. I don't know if you heard him or not.
It's the internet is funky tonight.
No, I'm in a hotel, so
oh
it's
gosh,
just,
your undisclosed location. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. For Iran, I can't get over the school. I just can't. I don't know if it's the teacher in me, the mom in me, the human in me, whatever. I can't get over that school.
Can you explain, because some people may have not heard of what happened on the first day of the bomb?
I'm gonna Google real fast because I want the real number.
They're at 160, 180
160 something. Yeah.
I checked. I seen.
That's just killed. They don't talk about the injured.
And the injured, right? Or the the
Or
people who lost siblings, or yeah. It's 160 is the number I'm seeing right now on the Guardian. So I don't know. Children are not collateral damage. I think collateral damage should refer to structures. It's a bridge. It's collateral damage. A skyscraper is collateral damage. A boat, human life is not collateral damage. And I don't know what research went into picking targets, but the amount of damage done to that school was not an accident. And same kind of thing happened in World War II. A school was bombed.
Yeah, it was indiscriminate in World War II. They was just dropping shit.
In World War II, there was what I'm talking about. And when somebody else talks, I'll get the name of the school and remember which country I'm talking about. It was a targeting mishap, and it was 2 bombs. That was it. There was like 50 planes going to bomb the city, and they were specifically targeting like a Capitol building that had a POW prison in the basement. And it was coordinated with several countries. They went in, and 2 of the planes had the coordinates wrong, and they bombed a school. And hundreds of kids, or I'm not going to do numbers, but like an entire community was destroyed. And all of the victims were teachers and administrators and students. And it was one of the most catastrophic, like, single day events in World War II, which is already astronomical, the numbers. But I just, like, you don't recover from that. And there's no way. How do we make that right? How do we apologize? How do we find peace? How do we find diplomacy after this? And I don't know. That's what I worry about. I didn't sleep last night thinking about it. Like, where does this go from here? Because it's not just attacking the resources. It's not just taking out a leader that, love him or hate him, people relied on his governance. It's not just disrupting their economy and their resources and their day-to-day lives. We've literally wiped out 200 people from this generation. And, I don't know how you fix that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not a boat, with 6 people on it and a bad president made a bad decision and we're sorry and we have a new administration and we want to work on our diplomacy and fix this. This is already an ideological place that has no space for us. And now we've done this.
I want to add too. Because there has been times where it's been, and I don't think this is the case with this situation, where we've dropped bombs and the country dropped bombs on said it's something of this order, school or families or the stuff like that, and it come out that it wasn't true, and the U.S. government has been able to be taken at their word before that these things that this isn't true. This is actually what happened, and the world would believe us because they knew we were honest about those things and took accountability for those things. Even if this wasn't true, we couldn't trust our government to tell us the truth. We couldn't trust them if they came out and said, "Oh no, it's not us. We didn't do anything. That never happened. This is something that happened before, or this is completely not true." Would anybody on this panel believe that anything that comes out of the Department of Defense or anything else that comes from our government at this point?
Absolutely not.
Not for the next 4
So,
years.
yeah, so that in and of it,
Not 4 years, 3 years, 3 years. Come on, don't do that to me.
We
Hey, yo,
finished the first quarter.
but messing with you, Vanessa.
But honestly,
Sorry.
because we voted for this bullshit again, it's going to be longer than 4 years. Like the damage that we're doing on the world order is going to last beyond our lives. That's just a fact. But I want to go. Ronnie, I'm gonna come to you last because you like to be long winded, and we need to get to our conspiracies. I'm gonna go to Black. Black, do you have anything else to add when it comes to Iran war and everything that we talked about so far? Before I go to Ronnie and put him on a timer.
I can dig it.
Absolutely. This whole Iran thing is the same dog and pony show. We took out Saddam Hussein supposedly for what he was doing to his people. We took out Muammar Gaddafi for what he was supposedly doing to his people.
Mm-hmm.
Now we taking out I think it's Ayatollah is his name. For Iran for what he's supposedly done to his people. And in the process of taking these people out for what they doing to his people or his people, we killing more of his people. So it makes absolutely no sense. So it begs to differ. What are we truly doing? And if you follow the money, follow who's part of the central bank and who's not, and who they trying to get to convert, you'll see why we going to war with these countries.
All right, so let's get into it because we are about to get there. And I tried to bring on Chris because Chris Miller that's been on before because he sends me so much anti-Zionism, and I'm actually happy that Gallo is Vanessa's on here today because she there's no bones about it. She is Jewish, so I want to hear these conversations, and I think it's going to get, and we're going to. So this is going to be a good segue to get into the Epstein stuff and the QAnon stuff and all of these things that I really wanted you on today. Like I don't know if you know, but I can't see you at all.
I was wondering because I can see me on the phone, but then I'm up at the TV and I can't see myself.
Yeah, I can't see you at all.
I can't see you either.
Let me figure out.
It's like somebody's box is too big or something.
Yeah, it's like your whole block. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. So
I ain't do nothing but touch the screen. That's it.
Oh wow. So let's start to get into let's be honest. He said that the administration has said that Israel brought them into this war. They said Israel's going to strike. I mean, and
Iran.
And it was going to strike Iran. And once they struck Iran, it's like black. You about to get into a fight. And once you punch this motherfucker,
I'm in.
He gonna punch you and he gonna punch me. So since he's gonna punch me, I might as well punch him first. I might as well, because I already know you about to punch him. And that's what they're saying happened. But then Trump just came out today and said, no, because he don't want to look at the puppet. No. I did it first and I brought them into it. So like it's all again bullshit.
Yep.
So
yep.
But I truly but even before Trump started talking about it on live TV, before he made those tape things, Netanyahu came out and approached the American people and said why we were at war before the president did to us.
So you know who's in control then.
Why the fuck, excuse my language, why the fuck would Netanyahu be talking to the United States?
Exactly.
Ever? And telling us why we in a war for, how the fuck does he think he has control enough to even address the fucking United States? Excuse my language. I mean, so for me, like, so let me speak with. I don't know if you done, Black. Are you still? I don't know if you still.
Yeah, because I know we want to get into the whole conspiracy, and we can talk about this more.
I'm gonna make my fast.
She got it on. Hold on.
I made one for my cat too, because he's sitting over here when he wakes up.
What is that?
There you go.
That's my girl. Hey, you should sell them shits. For real. I can dig it. And that's dope right there, Ness. No, real talk though. So I want people to really start thinking about like why, and I agree with you 100%, Black, about who's in the central bank and who's not, right? and it's to the letter. However, so what's going to happen is the president obviously can't declare a war. It has to come from Congress, right? He gets 60 days to basically do it whatever the hell he wants. It's going to be so bad in 60 days that the number count for the United States losses is going to be so major. And it's going to be something major, even if it's something that they fuck up one of our ships or fuck up one of our bases just to make it look like somebody else did it.
All right, Ronnie, you got 3 minutes. You now.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
You got me? They're not going to get it. They're not going to, Congress is not going to pull people out because it's going to be in 60 days. That number is the six people that are that have lost their lives is going to get worse. Right. And then they're going to say, hey, Congress gonna be like, hey, we don't want to be in this war. Let's stop it. Like, nah, we got 250 dead U.S. military personnel, and we just lost a ship, and we lost 2 airplanes, and we got probably 2-3 hostages that's over there. We ain't stopping nothing. We racking it, right? You can't take over a country ever from the air. It's never happened. You can't bomb a country into submission. You have to put boots on the ground to go sweep things out and to go take over stuff and put people in places that you needed to put them at, because there's always going to be pockets of people that's in that country gonna be like, I don't want these people in here. It ain't happening while I'm here. They're gonna have to kill everybody I know. That's just how it is, right? They're gonna fight. This war is gonna go on forever, right? Unless they stop it like real soon, because all it's gonna do is gonna up these numbers, and all these other countries are, and if you already noticed, it's already spilling over to NATO countries, right? Supposedly that they shot down something over Turkey. That's even though it hasn't activated Article 5 of NATO, luckily, right? Because then you pull everybody else into NATO, and then now you're gonna have freaking 18 countries against one. You think that's gonna happen? No, hell no, it ain't gonna happen, right? For me, I think the U.S. and our Israel some pussies. It's a 2-on-1 fight. You know what I'm saying? Why you supposedly got to have all this firepower? We don't need nobody else. All of a sudden, you need your people, and they doing all the stuff that we don't need to be doing. But it's a 2-on-1 fight, and it's supposed to be even. Well, obviously, war is not supposed to be like that, right? That's just my opinion, right? You killed these kids, you killed all these collateral damage, all this, and I'm not defending Iran, because that was a horrible freaking regime, right? I'm not denying that portion of it, but Israel's just as horrible. The United States, we do some horrible shit. You know what I'm saying? Every country has horrible things that are happening throughout the world, and some are just worse than others. That's my little quote things, right? And who determines that, right? But every country, I mean, why ain't we jumped into fucking North Korea? North Korea do worse shit. You know what I'm saying?
They have nukes. They have nukes.
We're scared of them.
Just hear me out. How much time I got? So
30 seconds.
19 seconds. Go ahead.
I'm reclaiming my time. Y'all talked. I just want to say that. I was waiting. That was baby. I reclaim my time. But no, I just think that it's going to be something that people aren't really paying too much attention to, because they think, oh, this is because a regime change. This is because of oil. This is because da 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 da. No, it's not. What it is that Israel wants to control the entire freaking Middle East, and this is the last part of it. And they're not part of the central bank, right? They're not under U.S. dollars either, right? So that's another reason why a lot of this stuff is happening. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and then we'll come back to it later on.
Yeah, I did not know Israel. So Israel doesn't use the U.S. dollar. They use
no. So
they take it.
Iran don't.
I'm talking about Iran.
Iran.
Oil turkey too.
And Israel do want to control the entire Middle East, and Iran they couldn't control them, so they had to take them out.
Iran ain't no. Listen, Iran is way worse than Iraq. Iran is way worse than any of those countries that are over there. They some dogs, and people don't really see that. Oh, it's because they did all this stuff easy. Iran back chilling, like, yeah, go ahead and put your stuff. You ain't gonna put your boots on the ground and come take over shit. And that's the only way that's gonna happen. That's why he's saying, oh, you people got to go do what y'all got to do, because they know if they start putting boots on the ground in Iran, you think the number for Iraq was high and Afghanistan was high, bro? We're gonna be in a whole world of shit over there trying to put boots on the ground and fighting them guys on those people face to face. It's not gonna happen.
All right, so we got a new shipmate that came to join the talk. Chris, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yo, yeah, I can hear you. Oh, I get to be a shipmate. That's dope.
Yeah. If you join the conversation, you're on a shipwreck. You're a shipmate. So welcome, shipmate.
How y'all doing?
What's good?
Welcome again. You don't get no applause though. You don't get no applause because you've been here before. You already been on here. So
Easy with the applause.
Yeah, you don't get no applause, but welcome. Like I said, my brother Chris has been sending me stuff on this for a while when it came to Israel stuff, and like I said to him, like I'm trying to figure out what you sending me, because it seemed, and I told him, I said, are you an anti-Semite? Or and he said, no, I'm not anti-Semite, I'm anti-Zionism, and I don't want to speak too much for you, but that's where he comes from in this. And I want to give him, because I honestly still don't even understand the difference between that. And this is the beginning to get us to where we're about to get to with the Epstein files. And Black, I'm gonna come to you next, because we've talked about, where you've been at with your research and stuff when it comes to Epstein and where he fits in at. So Chris, I'm gonna give you the floor to talk about when it comes to this Israel stuff. We also been talking about the primaries. If you want to touch on Jasmine and Talarico, or Paxton versus Cornyn, and then we're going to go to Black next. But go ahead, Chris. The floor is yours. I got your thing off. If you got your picture up or you got your video up, I'll put it on. Chris, hello. We just had him.
I know his picture just disappeared too.
No. I got his picture off because it's just a picture.
Make sure you're not.
But his audio was on. Yeah, Chris, can you hear us?
Okay.
No, I don't hear him. All right, until he comes back, man, because I was really looking forward to hearing what he had to say. Hopefully he'll come back in a second. Black, I'm gonna give you the floor to go into your research, and if you don't mind, when he comes back, being able to cut it off.
Whenever you get back, because I'm interested here, because I think I can say I'm an anti-Zionist as well, but I want to hear his opinion.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you. Yeah, I want to ask you then. What is the difference between anti?
I don't know it well enough to explain it. That's why I say I think I am, because basically a little bit that I do know. I hate titles, and I hate to be grouped into one person. Oh, you anti this, anti that. I'm for the human race when it gets down to it. I'm for the human race. Everybody is equal. Blah blah blah. All right, go ahead. He can go.
Oh, there we go. He's back. All right, Chris. There you go.
My apologies. My mom called me. Yeah, the difference between the difference between Jewish people and Zionists is Zionism is it's not religious. It's secular. It was created from a terrorist, actually, if you look back at the history. But it's a terrorist state that was taken over. It was used to take over what would be considered the Jewish state of Israel. But the Jewish state of Israel was created from Zionists, and this is something like, if I'd known I was coming in popping off with this, I would have definitely had all my documents there. But Zionism and Jewish people you ask any Jewish person, they're not the same. So you don't have to be a practicing Jew to be a Zionist, and that's why there's so many Christian Zionists too, which I feel is very insane, because Zionists, they fully believe that the Jewish race is going to be basically the slave owners of all the goyim. Goyim is you, me, everybody that's not Jewish, right? But they believe that we're cattle, and that we are that everything is promised to them, and that they're going to be ruling over the masses with an iron fist. And this is something that comes from their Talmud too. This is their religious text. But if you look at Jewish people that are not Zionists, there's anti-Zionist Jews that live in Israel, and if you see the people in Israel right now, they're actually railing against. And I sent you something today. They're railing against Netanyahu, which they call. I'm not going to go into what they call him, but he comes from the Likud party. The Likud party was started by legit terrorists. Like, if you go back into their and that goes back to the IDF, and the IDF was started by actual terrorists too. So these people there's hundreds and thousands and millions of people in Israel that are actually protesting against them. But he took over the right wing. He said that Israel needs to be more right wing, and they took over. The Likud party took over Israel, and through all of these emergency powers and things that they have been granted, because they keep starting these wars, or because they keep starting these proxy wars, they have been able to maintain control over the government because of that. So that's how he is I mean, I don't know if people know this, but he's up with the ICC for on charges of genocide and all types of stuff.
Genocide, as well in his own country for corruption. Like he should have been on trial a long time ago for corruption.
That part.
I want to bring Vanessa in here, because she is our I won't say resident Jew, but like she is our that's my sister.
You can say token. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay, there we go. I'll let you say it. And so, okay. off of what he said, do you agree, or do you because I still don't know what.
So I am not a Zionist. I think Zionists are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So it is there's definitely a difference.
It is different, but also a little bit of, I'm going to just fact check Chris just a little bit. So it started out as a community protection project, similar to Black Panthers, similar to like the Black nationalist movement, just for like examples that apply to America. Basically, Russia and Europe were kicking the Jews out in like the late 1800s, like the 1870s to the 1890s. And a group of Jewish people were like, we want to go home to Palestine. That's our ancestral land. We're getting kicked out of everywhere. We have nowhere to go. We live here. Let's protect our community and build up our community. And then we slowly get into World War I, which has a major Jewish element to it that, the Nazis kind of, they use that to propel their agenda for World War II. And at the end of World War II, the Zionist movement at that point had grown. It's very similar to like the end of slavery in America, where like abolitionists were like, well, we don't want slavery, but we don't want you either, right? So I don't want slavery to exist in the South, but I don't want you moving into my neighborhood. And so a lot of Jewish people encountered that at the end of World War II. There was a lot of countries that were like, we're not taking any more of you. America was big for that. If you basically had to like have like a skill, like the Einstein visa kind of thing, before America would take you, or you had to have like an anchor person to sponsor you and come over. But like even members of my family had to wait like 10 years before they could come over after the war. because America was not taking anybody. So this movement got gas because all of these people are disenfranchised and they're like, now where do we go? What do we do? And the global community kind of went Israel, right? Like, we're going to put you over here and it's close to where you want to be. And now just shut up and go away. And in that shut up and go away, they went, it's never happening to us again. They got militant. They got super, super bogged down into the religiosity. The Torah, the Talmud that Chris referenced is just the Old Testament. I mean, there's a couple
No,
more books.
no,
It's
no.
just, there's a couple more
Nope,
books.
nope,
You're
nope.
right, sir. I've
No.
been Jewish 43 years.
And
So
you,
I'm not saying that there are not other doctrines that are abused.
there's the
There are,
Talmud, the Talmud. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
just like there's the King James version of the Bible,
Yeah, my
there
bad.
are other versions of the Bible, right? There, so the Torah and the Talmud, there are different sections of books. There are depending on the degree of your Jewishness, whether you're Reformist or whether you're Orthodox or whether you're Kabbalist, there are lots of different people who use lots of different things. And just like, Israeli extremists and can manipulate the Quran to say what they want it to say. People do that also with the Torah and the Talmud. They have a lot of different interpretations, a lot of different things that go, well, see, we're doing this correctly. We're the chosen people. We're special. And when you continue to feed yourself that narrative that you're special and you're chosen and you're, persecuted across, the story of persecution is not true, but also it's not something that has obviously held anybody back. It's not happening. That anti-Semitism is not hurting Israel. And Semites are not just Jewish people. Muslim people Arab people are also Semites, right? Like, by the definition. So when you say anti-Semitic, it's usually the region. People in America think it means Jewish, but it's not just Jewish, it's the region. Zionism is evil. It's nationalism formed around religion with a religious excuse. It's all kind of, it's very like the Crusades. It's very, I'm right, you're wrong. I have this right that's divine, and you don't get to tell me otherwise, because who are you? God put me here and gave me this mission. So it's a perversion of what it started to be in the first place, which was, like I said, very similar to what the Black Panthers were doing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it started out as a let's protect each other, let's do for each other, let's find community and strength. And over the course of, the last couple hundred years, it's just been perverted and it's been morphed into this thing of privilege and entitlement and, death onto everybody else. It's absolutely evil. And it's woven into the government in such a way that you cannot separate it at this point. You kind of would have to throw out the baby and start over. So I understand what you're saying, Chris, and I don't think everything you said was wrong, but I also think that it's an interpretation of a person who's not familiar with the material from inside the house. Do you know what I mean? I think that your
Well,
perspective
that would
is
be
not wrong.
I'm about to give you a
that would
second.
be an
I'm about to
assumption.
go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
That would be an assumption that I am familiar from inside the house. I'm related to and have been intermarried with some people that do practice the faith, and I've read the Torah many
I'm
many
guessing
times.
you didn't
I've
like
read the
grow up in Hebrew school though, and you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, those kind
No,
of
no, hold on.
layers
Let me finish. Let
matter.
me finish though. Let me finish though. I get it. There's layers to that, but I've also practiced. I've also lived alongside of people that practice, and also I've read the Talmud. I've read so much of the Talmud, so I know what's in there, and I know, and I've existed in the same diosphere as the people that that I'm speaking about. So um, there's layers to it, but also when you live congruently with people that are practicing, and you understand the nuances. So to say that I'm just an outsider speaking on this is kind of false, but
Okay.
Again, I didn't see a lot. I didn't see a lot of what you said is to be incongruent with what I said. So I mean, I wasn't
I
jumping on
think I
here. I
agree.
wasn't
I
jumping on
think
here.
I actually
That's
agree
what
a
I'm
lot.
saying.
Yeah, I think
All
I
I'm
agree.
saying is that there's some nuance that I think you're
Yeah.
missing, and whatever your exposure to the religion, whether you're even if you practice yourself, there are things that are only available generationally. And I say that with all due respect. Like there are things that, if you know people and you get their family perspective of what this means and what it is to them and how they perceive it, and then that influences how you perceive it. I have this entire, like, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who have influenced how I view Judaism and who have influenced my interpretation of that from their own generational exposure to it, and how it shaped this family to be angry and agree with them, and how it shaped this family to reject the idea that this has anything to do with a country, and your religion is separate. So that's all I meant. I'm not trying to be like dismissive of your experience. I'm saying that there's a little bit of nuance that I think you're missing. Not a lot, and you're on the right track. If you asked my opinion, you didn't, but I just think that there is a little bit of some of the differences that you said.
I think we're all agreeing. I mean, I think
Yeah.
this is. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, anti-Semitism is, I mean, not anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism is something that we all should be. If we care about American interests, if we care about our children, if we care about the world in general, because we see what Zionists are going out and doing, and people in Israel know and they hate it. And I sent you something earlier, Ship,
I didn't
showing
get to
people
see
in
it.
the people in the Knesset, they're being drug out of the Knesset because of speaking directly to Netanyahu, telling him he's a devil. And the thing is, it's not just happening there, it's happening all over the world. They're killing all systematically, using America to kill all of their neighbors. They're literally going to other countries like Argentina and burning it. The people of Argentina know what's going on. They're going over there and they're burning the country so that they can go in there and buy it cheap. They're actually doing that in California. Like, this is what this is a cancer on the world. Anti-Zionism is a cancer on the world. Theodore Herzl was one of the first devils that created Zionism, and it's just patched on through the ages, and it's grown into this cancerous thing. I don't know if it's ever been something that was good. It was definitely for a while. It was good for the Jewish people. Yeah, so I don't disagree with her on that. It's something they started out of necessity. They're like, you know what, we got to hold it down for ourselves. But at the end of the day, somebody got crazy, and they got they got with the Rothschilds, they got with all these other people, and then they started to go crazy with it. So now we're sitting on this powder keg of the world hates us because we've been doing Israel's bidding for 60 years, 70 years, and we're sitting on this powder keg as Americans. And this is one of the things about being a Christian and being at odds with people within Christianity that are like, oh, we support Israel. And I've read every Bible imaginable. Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at them like they obviously don't know that this has been perpetrated on them by the Schofield Bible. Like, Schofield got together with Zionists and created a whole Bible and brainwashed the whole generation of Christians, saying that you need to worship Israel. Israel is going to be your savior. You have to bless Israel. That's where that came from. And now you see us now, we're actually at this point where everybody is like, oh, we need to bless Israel. And now we got a bunch of devils that, like, and this is the thing, people that know better are at the forefront of this. There's all these people that are the leading Christian Zionists or whatever. They know better. They're doing it because they know that it is much more profitable to be blessing Israel. When they say bless Israel and you'll be blessed, what they're talking about at this point is the money. It's not about God blessing these people. It's about the money blessing them. So they know, yeah, if you bless Israel or you bless the Zionist Jews, you'll be blessed. Like in Congress, you'll get a blessing of $1 million. you'll get blessed in the primaries. That's what the blessing means to them now. It's not a blessing for any kind of real Christianity, and that's why it's muddied the waters, and that's why it's so dangerous though, because there are these fools, these peons at the bottom of the rung, running around here. The same people that have this mega hat mentality, because all people that are Republicans are not created the same. There's people that are out here that will just Trump for anything, Trump over everybody, can do no wrong. But they're the same people that'll say that Israel above everything. Israel can do no wrong. Even though they see it, they don't believe it. They can't. And this is why I put this out there the other day. If the biblical deception era that we're in right now, the scales over their eyes, modern day Israel, Zionists that is the modern day deception that they talk about in Revelation. Plain and simple.
So I got a question for
So
you because we communicated this weekend. You said, why you keep asking me, like, yeah, I would have still voted for Trump. So my question to you is,
yeah,
today, do you think exact same circumstances, if Kamala had won, she would have bombed Iran?
Yes, because it's because it is not their choice. And I think that there's moves being made for America's interests that are trumping Israel's interests, even on the backside that Trump's doing. But they're all slaves to Israel right now. It doesn't matter who was in office. This would have been happening because they had a plan. And I know y'all in the military noticed they had the plan of the 9 countries. And they have not stopped in that plan. They may have gotten a little bit on a little side quest, but they're moving right on schedule. In Israel, this is all planned. This is all planned. It came across some generals' desks 20 some odd years ago that they're going to start doing, systematically eradicating their neighbors because they have the Greater Israel plan, and they can't do what they want to do if they got all these other Arab countries in the way. And it's funny, they've been trying to ring the alarm to us for a long time and tell us if this is going to happen, but what we do in America doesn't really matter because they're going to pick and choose the next person anyway. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who we pick. They got their bases covered. Everybody in Congress is bought and paid for, and the ones that aren't, they're getting primaried, and that's just how it is.
So I'm a.
So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have changed.
Go ahead. You want to change?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You want to change it because you feel like
no,
it's still.
I mean,
but the culture stuff still in America, whether it's abortion, whether it's trans, whether those things still align with you enough that the Israel thing was going to be a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a watch.
It's not. I don't feel like it's a watch. I hate it, but it's gonna be there. The Israel is a non-starter. You can't get rid of Israel by changing the president. You got to get rid of Israel by taking everybody off the table.
Right.
Like we need a whole new plate, a palate cleanse to get rid of it, to get rid of Israel.
Yeah.
All right, I'm Black. I don't know if you're ready to start talking, or anybody else have anything before we get into what Epstein falls in and all of this and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So go ahead, Black. I got you.
Hold on, let me say something real quick. This is a terrible time for me to get off before the Epstein files, but my wife's looking at me. I gotta go help her cook dinner.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you coming on.
Indeed.
On, and we can definitely finish the conversation later and just watch. Keep watching,
yeah.
And if you want to send chats and or comments and stuff like that, or jump back on, because you probably won't go long today, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm in an undisclosed location.
It's a doozy.
I'm on my own today. So,
all right.
But thank you for jumping on, because I think this is educational for me. I'm learning stuff, and to see you and Vanessa on the same page on some things was eye opening.
It made my heart happy.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
I love y'all, man. I appreciate the conversation every time, man. I really do. Y'all,
all right,
y'all
man.
stay faithful, man. Y'all stay safe.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Indeed. God bless.
All right, Black. I want to piggyback to you because go ahead.
That's interesting perspective he had. I can't say that it would have happened if Kamala had been elected. I can't say that. Can I say it will if that was the plan? Long term, absolutely. It's been the plan, like he said, for shit 20, 25 years. This has been the plan. But I think some people that are put in office, elected in office, however your viewpoint, I think that they slow it down and they don't allow it to progress during their time. And then when they get somebody else in that they pay more money or willing to do it, then the plan go ahead or the plan proceeds. So I can't say it would have happened, but I can't say it wouldn't because again, AIPAC and Israel control all of the politics or majority or enough of them where they get what they want. So I will say I get at a push.
All right. Okay. So can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back. So the history of it is, yes, you guys are pretty much all right. I mean, everybody has this tick or the bits. They say, oh yeah, this is what happened. Why Israel is where they are, and the Holy Land and all this other bullshit. So Israel or Palestine was a state way before Israel. They was by themselves. Basically, the long story short, after World War II. Britain and the UN came up with a plan. They said, "Hey, where are we going to send all these people so they can stop being persecuted over here in Europe? We ready to? They got to go somewhere." It's like, find somewhere on the map. Oh, that's a nice little spot. That's the old supposed Holy Land, right? Which is whatever they want to call it. It's like, hey, you don't have a choice. You're a Muslim state. They're gonna get half your country.
Right.
That's exactly what happened, right? And Israel, and it was like, cool, we go somewhere, we ain't got to be persecuted. The Palestine and all the Muslims like, fuck you. How the hell you gonna cut our shit up? You know what I'm saying? So they never agreed to it. Never. Yeah. That's why they was always in a war. So if this goes back way back further than people think. If somebody coming to you, if you own a house. And somebody, the big dog on the house.
Yeah, we know.
So I just want to break this down. You own a house for the people that's out in the blocks. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, please, because this is something that this is a great thing to talk about. It's history. So for me, I don't like to put the religion portion there because that's just the way of people are separating people, in my opinion. The original words of somebody that no one has that can't draw them and say, oh, this is what God looks like. You know what Jesus looked like. But you know what God, how do you know what God's anyway? Let's go back. Yeah. I'll retract that. So if say you own a house, somebody down the street, that big dog on the block say, hey, you a 4-bedroom dog, now you got 2 bedrooms. Fuck you mean, bro? It's my crib. Fuck you mean? I've had this house. Matter of fact, I drew this house in my mind before it even got erected. What you mean you coming up? What who the fuck are you? They don't even fuck with me like that. They ain't even fuck with them over there like that, right? They just looking for a spot to say, nope, we got to send some people so they won't be persecuted. So anyway, so it's like, well, fuck it. We'll just come take your 2 freaking rooms and do something about it. We got the whole world on our back. What you gonna do? You gotta let them in, right? It's like, cool. They never said cool. There's like, yeah, they over here, but I got people over here too. So they got into an immediate war about that shit. Immediate, and it's never stopped. We are still in it from 1947 or whatever. They've been in war since that time. Since the time they set foot on that land to now is why they always say, oh, get peace in the Middle East. It's because of them two, that one thing, right? And it's spread throughout the whole country. That's why they look at Muslims. No, they terrorists. I'll be a motherfucking terrorist too. You know what I'm saying? If you come in my and you come in my crib and tell me we gonna fight, bro. We gonna all fight. And then you kill me, I got people, so it's just gonna go on forever. That's what's really going on over there. It has nothing to do with, and I agree with the AIPAC money. It's always been about money. It's always been. If you ever follow the money, you realize how corrupt everybody is. So they try to point fingers because if you point fingers at somebody else, you really got 4 fingers pointed at you. Who has the biggest pointers? You feel what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, every country on this planet right now are hypocrites. At one time or another, they killed their own people. They persecuted their own people. Every single country, right? So who's more right than others? So for me, how I look at this stuff and this whole debacle of why they went over here and mess with this other country to bomb them. Yeah, they pieces of shit. They are, but you pieces of shit too. You know what I'm saying? In some aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? So who's more right? Who's more wrong? Well, I got the bigger gun. So in any fight that you ever seen on movies or in the real world and anything else, whoever got the biggest gun is who? They always the right one.
The one,
right?
Mhm.
right.
So
That's why it's called.
so
If
you
you
have
think
to
about
look at it. So you have to look at it in a holistic way, and you just got to understand. For me, and I understand fully. I love my country. Mad, good, bad, or ugly. I'm where I'm at. You feel what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, do I support everything that everybody do? Fuck, I don't support half some of the shit I do. You know what I'm saying? So of course I'm not gonna support everything, right? But the whole point of it is that you got to know what side of the fence you rocking on, because sometimes you have to be the same person in the room, because if not, the whole world's gonna go crazy. That's why you end up in wars, right? Because you right, I'm right, we're gonna battle it out, we're gonna lose 18 million, 19 million people, and then come back into an agreement, sign a piece of paper to the people that we're gonna lose aren't the people that started the fucking war. They ain't even the ones that gonna be near any bullets, any bombs, any threat of losing life. They're gonna be nowhere near. They're gonna be sitting in a room somewhere, having a party, eating freaking caviar, and laughing about how fucking dumb this shit really is and how the fuck we're gonna get out of it. So in my opinion, is there an end game to any of this? Yes. When Israel runs that entire Middle East, that'll be the end of it. If not, it's gonna be a fight forever.
All right, so let's transition to how all of this comes to the Epstein files, because
Exactly.
Vanessa, you brought this up. I know Black, you brought this up. And I want to give Black. Do you want to go first? Or you want Vanessa to go first?
Yeah, I don't care. I try to make it brief.
No, it ain't gotta be brief because we got time. Like we got time tonight.
Okay.
So I know you did a lot of research, so I don't know, on this and the intelligence of it.
Ladies first.
Yeah, all right.
No, it's okay. I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, I go. I'm gonna
break
start
it,
out by
take your time, Black. Take your time. Break
I'm
it, because
gonna start out by saying I knew of Epstein long before I knew the name. Way back in early 2000s, I guess I'm just nosy or just like history or just like the research or waste time, whatever you want to categorize it. But I found out and discovered that there was a rich man who owned the island that was flying young girls all around the world and having sex with them. I didn't know how young. I just knew it was young girls. I didn't know it was 12 and 13-year-olds at the time. But I was like, holy crap, that shit is awesome. Be having 19, 20-year-old girls. You can just go fly to a country and bring them back to your island. You know, being young, you'd be like, shit, I wish I could have my own island. I can do all that crazy shit. So, but then when you find out years later, holy crap, this is the guy that I knew about a long time ago. How does that tie into where we are today? And I think this shit goes so deep. We know that there's so many thousands of children that that go missing every year. That's unfounded. I've heard of stories that there's rituals with young children drinking their blood, killing them and drinking their blood. They make them scared. It's something increases in their blood, and they kill them and drink their blood because it's supposed to be do something to the body. So I've heard and read all of this stuff, and then when you start connecting all of the dots, and it's like, holy shit, is this the dude that is part of all of this? And you go all the way back to how entrenched Israel into this, and then you find out Epstein was a um uh asset, and he worked along them, and when he would get in trouble, he would go right back to Israel. So all he's so intertwined with Israel, and the plan, I believe, from years and years and years was to manipulate and get as many high power people to participate in some of these rituals. And I heard son Bush, when he was in, I think it was Princeton he was at, went to, how they had the skull and bones and all these secret organizations that they do rituals. and these codes and these secrets, I should say, that they perform, and they form a pact, and I never tell, and they do stuff that if I tell, then you're gonna be in trouble. So you ain't gonna tell on yourself. And all of this stuff, I think that Epstein was just used to blackmail half of our political system and run right back to Israel, uh to hide out. And when they get their people in place, they can't do anything but say yes, or whatever they need done, they gotta say yes, because hey, you know that little girl you was with back in 2008, if you don't do it, this picture being leaked, and they can't do nothing but do it. So all of this stuff, and I don't think he did, by the way.
Epstein?
Is Yeah, I don't think he did.
Epstein's dead?
No,
Nah.
that picture of the dude walking around in Israel, that had to be him.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We're
I
gonna talk
agree.
about that too. We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
all of that. I got a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff.
Did you see that
I don't even know who y'all
autopsy
talking
thing?
about.
Yeah.
No,
What? Chip, you ain't seen that?
Again, I don't give it that energy. I don't do it. So y'all,
Google it right now.
I send it to you. I sent you the
Google
one
it
about
right
his pancreas or
Yes,
whatever the hell it's supposed to be.
And again, with these conspiracies, it's never 100% true. I'm gonna say it's never 100% proven to be true, but there's enough information when you start connecting the dots that you can say, I think it's some truth to this. I think it's more truth to most conspiracy theories than being totally false. And I don't research whether that shit is crazy. How they can predict the weather and stuff, or control the weather.
Control the weather.
Oh
My
yeah,
space laser.
that's the new way, but the old way was hard.
Hold on. Are we believing in Margaret Taylor Greene's Jewish space laser? Is that where we are? I mean, is that, I'm literally asking a question. I'm being sincere
funny,
here,
bro.
He said the whole Jewish space laser. So is that what you're talking about?
I was being sarcastic, but do I think that this? Yeah.
You put the tinfoil hat on the cat. I'm the cat, goddamn.
Oh God.
I'm trying to figure it out. I do want to play. I just want to play one video for y'all real quick, because this is. I don't know if you guys know this or not. I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna set it up, but Epstein has something to do with QAnon, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Okay.
Ghislaine Maxwell had a relationship with the founder of 4chan, Christopher Poole. His name online was Moot.
Yeah.
And it basically showed that she was instrumental in moderating a board called POL, P-O-L, and that was one of the really early incubation locations for what became QAnon and the Q drops.
I didn't know that.
And the Q drops really almost resemble the reality of the recent Epstein file dump, but they just include 10% of the craziest stuff you've ever heard in your life,
Right.
and it delegitimizes everything else. Now,
that's so interesting.
So what they sort of did is effectively associate like Anunnaki lizard theory about like snakes in the moon controlling our minds,
Right.
and flat Earth with like elite child trafficking,
Right.
and kind of put everything in the loony bin and created these useless rabbit holes for people to dive down.
Right.
And I just find it super interesting that the recent files proved a tangible connection between QAnon and Jeffrey Epstein.
I had no idea about that. That more people need to know that. But the reality is, some of the people who suspected that there were pedophiles that were being protected by the federal government turned out to be right. Like, there are a lot of rich and powerful people who were involved with a pedophile, who were going to an island where pedophilia was taking place and faced no consequences, and actually were involved in making government decisions, as Epstein's file shows. He's talking to all these politicians. So the instinct of the American people to suspect that something was wrong was correct. Now, it was in QAnon's case, it was presented with all of these conspiracy theories that are patently false. Like they just went after things that make no sense, or the Pizzagate, or, naming particular people. But I didn't realize that could have been an intentional effort, you're saying, to discredit the parts that are true of rich and powerful people engaging
in pedophilia. Who would like to tackle this?
So for me, Like you said earlier, there's always some truth in information that gets leaked out or whatever. I think they tell you the truth. It's just it'd be so crazy that you think it's a conspiracy theory, in my opinion. And then they just let us, and then they come and they just let everybody run down those different rabbit holes. Like, we told you the truth in the beginning, you just ran off to do all this crazy shit. Anyway, so that's just my opinion. So whenever I saw some crazy stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's probably true. But and I agree, and people keep saying Jeffrey Epstein. It ain't Jeffrey Epstein. It's Ghislaine Maxwell with the fucking one, right? So you guys got to remember who her father was, right? You guys know who her father was, right? So that all came from her. He was like James Bond of Israel. He was their number one guy, right? So when she met up with Epstein, who was a he went to some pretty elite schools. Who's at these elite schools? Who planted him there on purpose to meet these elite people, knowing that these people at this time, they're young, but eventually they're going to be leaders, because that's just the pedigree of how things work, right? So if you get these guys and I think it goes way back to even that far back, is what we are saying, is when they get into those elite groups, they do some stuff to where you have to, it's like getting jumped in, right? Unless you go punch some random person in the face, you can't be a part of our group. Matter of fact, if you don't go punch this person in the face, not only are you not going to be a part, we taking your ass up out of here, right? Who gonna go in the face? I'm punching 4-5 people in the face. You understand? Especially when you know they serious. You feel me? Because you've seen it happen. So I think it goes back to that point. If you go back to when all these leaders that we have now, and people are always because now, no, you got to go back when they were younger, man. They were young kids. They were young adults just starting their rise in leadership positions. They didn't just get these leadership positions and 20 years ago, and all of a sudden this is no. They've been building this up forever. And when you have that much dirt on somebody, and you know, hey, on this day at this time, we got pictures of you doing X, Y, Z with me and all these other people. And if you don't blah blah blah, then you're out of here. You know what I'm saying? So they know some people like a Kamala, Barack Obama, those type of people. They did some of this stuff, but they weren't going to the point to where, oh my God, we're about to go and tear up more shit than people want to tear up. You understand what I mean? It's a point. It's a point. It's a stopping point, right?
So let's ask the question. Let's ask it. Let me. I'm on because I'm cutting you off because your 3 minutes is up. I got to keep you on the timer. I keep you on the timer.
You gotta let me know my timer start.
Yeah. My bad. But you had your whole time. I just gotta say that you were not playing. You had it all. You
gotta think. You gotta think deeper.
Yeah. But my question is,
it's simpler.
Is Trump compromised? I hope I spelled it right.
Everybody's compromised.
Is okay. So everybody's compromised. So
not just Trump. I'm talking about all the leaders are. Every single last one of them.
So let's add on to what Chris started, which was, if everybody's compromised, do you think that we would still be here today? And do you think? And do you? I'm asking this to the whole floor. Like, and do you think if Kamala was here today, would we have been? Would we be in war with Iran today? And
no.
And also with that being said, so did Trump do this war because of the Epstein files and the things that Israel has on him?
I think
in a war because I'm sorry. I think we're in a war because every single thing lined up that needed to be lined up in via our government, having certain group running it. That had to be a part of it, because had it been split where you had the Democrats in charge of, say, Congress or the Senate, none of this shit would have happened. You know what I mean? So because they would have already tried to like get out. So everything had to be in a line to where, okay, this is the time we have to do it, and we have to do it quick because they know in November or next January.
Everybody's compromised, but earlier you said everybody's compromised.
No, I said the leaders. I said leaders.
The leaders.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. You got
that's what
king,
Congress
you got
is.
princes.
It's
When you
supposed to
got
be.
princes and you got kings and you got all these people quitting or being pushed out, you're not one of them regular people, bro. You are freaking a leader.
I agree. But Vanessa, I want you to go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I don't even know where to start because
But before you start, get your thoughts together. If you're watching this, please hit like and subscribe. If you're on Facebook, hit share. Please hit share. I know some people that's been commenting. I know you're on Facebook. Hit share. Please share it on your page so that way other people can look at it and become a part of the community. If you're watching and you leaving messages or you just want to get in the conversation, there are ways to get in the conversation. You can call a number. You can also hit the invite. If you're on Facebook, please go to the YouTube and hit like and subscribe as well. If you're on YouTube, join the conversation, hit like and subscribe. Vanessa, the floor is yours. I'm sorry. Thank you.
oh, you good? That's important housekeeping. I think that I don't think we would be here if Harris had been elected. I think that if we were involved with a conflict with Iran, or even just the way that like the aftermath of what's going on with Israel and Gaza, I think it all would look different. I don't know that it would be better. I don't know that, she would have gotten more cooperation or, but I do think that we wouldn't have just done these kind of strikes. I think that would never have happened unprovoked. And I think that's the difference is that when you change your name from Department of Defense to Department of War, your agenda has changed. One is aggressive and one is defensive. And, we all watch enough sports to understand the difference. So I think that it would look very different and it wouldn't be something that we instigated. I think it would be more intentional. I think it would be more nuanced. I think it would be more strategic targeting. I think that what he's accomplished. Oh, go ahead.
No, simple question. So, do you think Trump did what he's did because he's compromised through the Epstein files?
Absolutely. I 100% think that he's a puppet. I think that they've been pulling strings. I think a lot of the decisions he makes are because of, and if it's not like the Epstein files, it's something that has compromised him. And I do think it's the files. I do think it's whatever this like ritualistic, fat, bloated white guy, secret society, privileged, caviar, by the way, is not kosher, most of it. So they're probably not eating caviar, but like whatever that, like, whatever that, like,
I was trying to think of something elite, like
fancy, right?
You're right.
No.
Yeah.
But so like I just think that a lot of whatever that boys club is, the people that they've got involved in it, the people that have been compromising, like you said, jump them in, and now you got skin in the game, and everything you hold dear is at risk. So it takes a really, really big person to go against that and to say, I'll take my, the consequences of whatever I did that I don't want people to know about, that you're trying to blackmail me with. And I think the proof of that is that so many of these people did not come forward and go, like what's the guy, I can't think of his name. Is it Lutnick? The guy that was like, oh, I didn't go on the island. And my wife and my kids were with me, right? And then me and my wife decided we were never going back. Excuse me, if you were never going back, why didn't you tell somebody why you were never going back? Why didn't you make some noise? And so, excuse me, I think that's the part that keeps all of these people under control. It's the shame, it's the embarrassment, it's the whatever. It's the, I don't want to lose my livelihood. I don't want to, lose my caviar and go to jail and eat slop with bugs in it, whatever. I think that 100%. 100%, they're all compromised. The way that Ronnie, like when I say all, I'm being hyperbolic. Like I don't think Harris was that kind of compromise. I don't necessarily think the Bushes were compromised like that. I don't think that. I do think that there's something hinky going on with the Clintons. I don't think it's as bad as they're trying, as the Republicans would have us believe. I don't necessarily believe that he's innocent. I think he's a slime ball. But I also think
I
that
think they were the first swinger couple in the White House. Well, maybe not
right.
the first. Maybe not the first.
They were the
Maybe not
ones they
the
got
first,
real
but
bad at hiding it,
I think,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, true.
I think
I
they
agree.
was
I'm
doing
with
their
her.
thing. I think they
Yeah.
were doing their thing, and he had permission to do what he needed to do to take care of
Yeah.
himself, and that's
Yeah.
honestly what I think about them.
Yeah.
But I want to
Allegedly.
say this because
Allegedly.
allegedly, thank you, allegedly. I want to say this because I think this is a very important. I don't give a fuck who was associated with Epstein. I don't give a fuck who was doing the things that being with these young girls, and doing all of these sex trafficking stuff. Whoever they are needs to be punished.
Blanket.
If
100%.
statute of limitations is gone, then they need to be ostracized and tarred and feathered.
There's no statute of limitation for rape or sexual assault.
I think it is. Actually, it is. Actually, it is.
Yeah, there
Actually,
No,
is.
bro.
it is.
I
No,
prosecute.
no,
Listen,
no.
listen. It must be freaking over 30 years because I prosecute and kick people out and put people in. I've been at court martials where stuff happened 30, 40 years
It might be different federal.
UCMJ, yeah, UCMJ may be different.
No. That's federal law.
UCMJ
It's
may be
under
different.
federal law. No.
Federal and state are
UCMJ is
different
under
though, so it
federal law.
depends on
Yeah.
right, and so it depends on who's because my rape case is still sitting on a shelf. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Wow.
My rape kit has
Federal.
never been processed, and it's been over 20
Yeah.
years. So
They
I'm gonna tell
talked
you
about
that
some of
like
that too.
there's
a reason why that didn't happen too.
well, I mean that there's a lot of reasons why that happens, but what I'm saying is like I've gotten letters like, yeah, we're done. We're not even looking anymore. And the only reason they're keeping it is because if it lines up with something else from somebody else, they can go, there's a pattern of behavior. And they can go, now why we can't try this person for this. If they're a repeat offender, we can prove this pattern because we have this other DNA sitting on a shelf. They're not keeping it for me. They're not going to solve my problem. It's there for the future. So
Here's why I say. Here's what another reason why I say what I just said. What did Bill Cosby go to jail for? Sexual assault, right? It wasn't just the drugs. How long ago was that? 40, 50 years ago? That's what I'm trying to say. Is there so if something like that is happening?
Some of his cases, but again, some of his
he got charged and he went to jail for sexual assaults.
Hold on, but what you need to understand is what he was convicted of was within the last. I'm making up a number, 10 years. I'm just saying 10 years.
No,
but
man,
they were able to hold on. I will look it up for you. But let me finish my point. He was convicted of something that happened within the last 10, 12, 15 years, whatever, under the statute of limitations. However, they brought in cases that were out of the statute of limitations to show his pattern. That's a difference. That's the difference. That's why New York came up with the law
he
where
admitted it too.
that's why New York came up with the law where they can't prosecute people criminally for sexual abuse and sexual assault and rape, but you can sue them civilly.
Right.
That's why they changed their law where you couldn't come after them criminally, but you come after them civilly.
Right.
He showed up with the jail. Hold on, let me look this up.
It says state limitations are most often 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And the clock starts when you have evidence.
So that could be 40 years. Right. So okay, that makes sense. But I'm telling you, I put people, they got locked up in federal prison right now. Hey, kitty cat. Hey, kitty cat. What's the kitty cat name?
Oh, this is Charlie.
What's up, Charlie? I'm a cat. I like cats. Anyway, so like we was talking about earlier. I don't know, Black, you got anything to say? I know.
Yeah, we all know you can talk, Ronnie.
It was 12 years. 12 years was Cosby.
Yeah.
The limitation on the Cosby case was 12 years. It was 2004, and he was convicted within those 12 years. So again, like there are limitations on it. Go ahead, Black.
Okay.
Going back to everybody being compromised. Yes, if compromise meaning you took money from APAC, so you doing what they tell you to do or what they want you to do, yes, everybody's compromised. But I think there's different levels. Because if I took money from you, then I can still tell you no, and I ain't gonna there ain't gonna be no embarrassing pictures of me having sex with underage girls or whatever. But if those are the compromise that you have of me having sex with underage children, or there's even stuff coming out that Ghislaine executed, I think a 13 or 14-year-old girl and watched her scream while they executed, like watched her die. So it's all kinds of stuff that is coming out in these files that could be true. I don't know. So when you say everybody's compromising, this war would have happened, I just don't believe under Harris it would have happened. Now, would she have passed some laws that said Israel get $10 billion every 30 days or something? Okay, yeah, she probably would have passed that. But will we be at war with Iran? Because if you don't drop this bomb, I'm about to release these pictures that I have of you, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I gotta go drop these bombs because there's no way I can get these pictures or let these pictures come out. So I think there's different levels of compromising. But again, they all crooked. And just like Chris said, everybody need to go. We just need to start our whole political system, just need to start over and everybody get out. Otherwise, it's just gonna get Israel gonna grow stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's almost to the point now where ain't nothing we can do. It's almost to that point. And I think if it keeps going, we ain't gonna have no. They gonna rule that Middle East and they gonna rule America.
Right.
So
Wow, that's
But
big.
I also think he's not wrong. Like, it's a huge thing to say, but the breadcrumbs are there.
Yep.
Honestly, like, I don't know if y'all watched Gargoyles. Did you ever watch the cartoon Gargoyles?
Yes, I
think
did.
so.
Okay.
I
There's
did.
a part of Gargoyles where there's like this cabal in the background, and it turns out it all boils down. It's like the Knights Templar. And I swear, I feel like we're still fighting the Crusades. They're just putting a new mask on it. It's all about who's right religiously, who's getting the money, who's making moves to change what's okay and what's not okay, what's socially acceptable, what's not socially acceptable. It's all the backdoor, decision makers, the people who move the pieces on the board, who have the inventions, who, you know, they they determine what currency we're using. They determine what fuel sources we have. They determine who gets the food. They determine who owns the seeds that grows the food.
Yep.
All of that power is concentrated. And if you look at the people on this list, all of the people, like, there's so many people who, like, so many facets of our life are boiled down and compromised on this list. And it's like there's that bigger chess game going on in the background that, we're all just too ignorant to see all the moving parts of. We just don't have access to the information.
Wow. This shit is deep.
I agree. So another reason why I say, this is another reason why I said what I mean by everybody's compromised, meaning everybody is compromisable. There is nobody on this planet that's not compromisable. Even if they got dirt on you, not they'll make dirt on you. Is what I mean by everybody's compromised, because everybody
or threaten you.
Everybody,
yeah.
Right. So what I mean, yeah. So don't just look at it as it may not be. I'm just gonna embarrass you. I might just take your sister away.
Right.
You know what I mean? I might make you. I might like Vanessa said, I might take this contract away from you, your livelihood, and you might lose your. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. They might do multiple things. You know what I'm saying? So at those type of levels, you got to think about those leaders that are in charge of all these major corporations. What we hit on already is you can't lose those industries like that. So that's why when a lot of times people think like, oh yeah, these people are the people that's get elected. No, those are people that really got already picked. It just, you know what I'm saying? So if they put the right money behind anybody, they usually get elected. It's usually rare. I shouldn't say that. It usually doesn't happen where if you have money behind you, they're gonna put you in a place where they need to put you in a place at. Even if they have to make something up for you.
I think you're right. It's rare. It's rare. The people who spend the most, it's rare that they lose. Now, has it happened? Yes, but it's very rare that they lose if you got the money to back you up. So I think you're right.
Yeah, and stop this. And people, what we do a lot of times is we stick on our piece of dirt that we live on. This ain't just a one specific country. This goes worldwide, man. That's why a lot of these countries. That's why a lot of these countries are in the positions that they are now. You know what I mean? Because they were put in those positions. And what makes the most money for any country ever?
War.
Can you guys guess?
War. Yeah,
Right.
wars.
So people got it. Like I said, we've been talking about this since we got on. It's all you got to do is follow the money. Follow the money. Right. And once you do that, and I think a lot of this stuff is again, we going down our own rabbit holes again, because information is readily available as it is now. Right. But check this spin out, though. Check this spin out. Who's in charge of putting information out?
Oh, at this point, right now is right. Hold on. I want to answer your question. I want to answer you. Hold on. You asked the question. I'm gonna answer it.
Yeah.
At this point, is right wingers. Yeah. So you have Paramount, who is in charge of obviously CBS News. They're about to buy CNN, HBO Max. The same family is in charge of Twitter. Mm-hmm. So you want to have the same family in charge of CBS News, CNN, and Twitter. Who's in charge of not Twitter? TikTok. I'm sorry, it was TikTok. The Ellison family. They're in charge of TikTok. They're in charge of Paramount, which is CBS News, and they're about to be in charge of CNN because Trump made Netflix bow out, and now they're giving it to the Ellison family. Mm-hmm. Who's in charge of X? Who's in charge of Twitter? Elon Musk. So who's in charge of? We already know Meta. Who's in charge of that? Facebook, which is Zuckerberg, who's again he's right wing at this point now too. So you have everywhere that the majority of our country, and then you have the Murdochs is in charge of Fox News. We already know what Fox News do. Let's just take the news off of the Fox. They're in charge of Fox. So you have the majority of our news at this point, the vast majority. It went from majority to vast majority of how people get their news right wing. There's only honestly the only safe place honestly to find honest reputable news at this point is starting to be YouTube. You know, somebody that I watch often and pretty much every day is Don Lemon, because he's off the leash now. Now he can be honest. Like you got Joy Reid, you got the Clay Kings. It's different. It's different people that are on there that are journalists that still abide by the journalist rules that can give you those honest assessments on what's going on. Because
independent journalism is what we're gonna have to rely on.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, ready?
That's why the inauguration BS is so scary.
So I get what you mean. So I get exactly what you're saying. They didn't. I'm sure. Supposedly, they didn't see this type of stuff coming when they give you the information to put out. They give you the technology to spread the word. They give you the space that they own every satellite and every beam of freaking radio waves, but they're not control of it. You listen, so you have to understand, like, and I get what you guys are saying. Yes, there has to be pockets of people that are so off the leash they just don't give a fuck. Right? What usually happens to those people? Usually,
they're coming after.
Right. So if it's something that's really, think about it, if there's something that's really, really bad that they put out, somehow they find out, what usually happens to these people?
They get discredited or
bullets
killed
in the back of their head.
Right.
They get 2 bullets in the back of their head and they call it suicide and move on the next week because something else pops up.
Or they get discredited like Michael Jackson, right? Like they tore them their whole life
and then
up.
you come to find out he's been telling the truth the whole time.
Right. Like we all owe him an apology.
Right. So the thing, but who put that spin on it? I was like, Mike, that dude, he messing with kids. He got freaking models beating probably down his door every day. You know what I mean? Mike probably better than my man that was that played basketball. Used to have, you know, slept with 1,000 women or some crazy. Anyway, so Wilt Chamberlain. So the whole point I'm trying to make.
I was about to go. I'm about to go on that.
Yeah, I bet. Listen. I listen. Shit, I bet Mike.
All I
Listen,
gotta
Mike.
say.
I bet Mike. I bet you Mike be better. I'm just
No.
All right, so allegedly.
Go ahead.
So the point I'm trying to make is
I'm gonna leave that rabbit hole alone.
Yeah, because I listen. So my point is those rich elite people been doing this stuff for centuries, probably. This ain't new. People, this. Where do you think they come up with these ideas from? I'm gonna sit in my room today. You know what? Today I want to rape these little young girls today. Yeah. Hey, Ghislaine. Hey, go get us a couple of these youngins. It don't work like that, right? So it's an old thing that have been utilizing for probably from the beginning of building governments to have dirt on your enemy and people that you can control. It's been like that forever, right? So what it is that us normal people are starting to get more privy to it because information is going out.
Absolutely,
and it's allowed to go out in certain time frames, right? It's kind of like when you see like a new military airplane, you're like, oh man, that's the new military airplane. No, it's not. That airplane is probably 40
been out
years
20
old.
years.
Right. you just seeing it. We on our 18th generation jet that's in concept right now that you have no idea about, and that we've been using that you still don't know anything about. You know what I mean? It's a UFO. It's a UFO. So my point is, my point is, we get fed information that they want us to have. It is up to individuals to interpret it, and that's why you have these different type of people that are coming out here saying, even for us, we all got our own interpretations and information that we're beginning. Right? There's a pocket of people that kind of think the same way, and there's some people that are kind of like independent when they're really not. It's just you put in your own category, and eventually you'll come back to what we need you to come back to. That's gonna be what it is.
So let's think about it like this too. How terrible are we as a country where a man mentioned more in Epstein file. The man mentioned the most in Epstein files, other than obviously Epstein, is Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
You have his second. Is so many people in his administration that's been mentioned in the files. He gave anybody and everybody knows Ghislaine Maxwell was a pimp and a part and has no business being in Club Fed. And he did that. He allowed that. Yet nothing like we literally the Prince of England was arrested a couple of weeks ago. You have so many other people. You have people, and I'm gonna just show you this just so that way. These are the people that the fallout from the Epstein files. So, obviously got Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm not even gonna get into them. This is CEO of Barclays had to resign in 2021. So this is before the Epstein files came out. Leon Black had to step down from Apollo. You have somebody else, Pritzker, that had to step down and retire. Larry Summers just gave up his job in working at Harvard. The Prince obviously has been arrested in England. David Stern had to resign from Cambridge. Like, you have all of these different things, but I'm saying all that to say the Trump administration hasn't held anybody to account whatsoever. And what does this say about us as a society and as a country, especially when so many people from QAnon, so many people voted because they wanted these Epstein files released and all this stuff, and to see people act like it's not even an issue now, right, or not calling for heads to fucking like they're literally, after they bombed Iran, they started deleting shit out of the Epstein files. I knew a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago now, actually, that we were definitely going to bomb Iran when the stuff came out that in 2019, when Trump was a fucking president, a woman that was underage at the time, when she was allegedly raped by Trump, came out and said, "This is what happened." Did 4 interviews, and only one of them was actually in the files that was released by Trump, because those are the one that she was only talking about Epstein and everything else. So the three interviews that was talked about when she was saying what happened with her and Trump were never released.
Right.
I knew then, oh yeah, we about to bomb Iran. We have to. He has to. He got to change the narrative.
I told y'all that, but remember what I told you a year ago when we was on it? I said in a year he's gonna have us in a war. And here's why I say, what I said before is Kamala told the entire world step by step of what was going to happen. Literally. Dispute anything she said. Everything she said, step by step, is happening. If you vote for this, vote for him. This is what your country's gonna look. This is what the world's gonna look like. X, Y, Z, A, B, C, going around the horn. Step by step, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. So that's why if you've been noticing, I've been watching. That's who I've been following. I've been wanting to know what she's been talking about. She ain't talking about nothing but her book. She ain't worried about, the only thing she talked about, like, yeah, we shouldn't have did that stupid shit, but I told y'all that already. You know what I mean? Like, I told y'all this was going to happen. Like, I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? I'm not. I told you that. Right? So she's that, oh, y'all effed around and found out. And this is where we're going to be at. And it's going to be such a big mess to fix. And like we talked about, like you mentioned earlier, it's going to be so big of a mess that by next year, that's why they're going so quickly. By next year, when the House flips and they start doing these investigations, all these people, and then I remember I texted her, I said, I wonder who's going to start doing their deals. That's when you know, because people are going to start leaving the administration, and people are going to start like already Margie, or you know what I'm saying, they're going to start leaving in droves. I ain't rerunning.
Marjorie. I don't know if y'all been watching Marjorie, but she has been on a terror. She's been coming after her for
Yes, of course she is, but she's still supporting some of the stuff that he's doing. You can't support some and then nothing. It's either for me.
She's still racist. She's still homophobic. She's still those things.
So
but she's
she
right on
says,
some things as well. And we you know.
Right. So my point, is what I'm trying to make is they're gonna make them make so big by the time all of this stuff comes up, and they're gonna start doing these investigations. You're gonna start seeing people falling out of that tree trying to find a soft spot. Like, hey, I need to go talk to these people because I already know what's about to pop off. Because when they start pulling these people in there,
that's the thing.
Huh?
They
always gonna have a soft spot. They always do.
But that goes back to what I'm saying. Like, in other countries, they are paying a price for being in the Epstein files and actually being associated.
Just be written on it. Like, yeah, I agree.
And they haven't even told the lies. Like Lutnick that said that, you know, I went in his house one time and Miller said we're never doing that again. And they kind of find out he's on an island with his kids and his nanny, and he's in a business venture with him, and nothing happens. Like,
so why you think they're holding the other 3,000 or 3 million files supposedly?
Oh, because it's worse. They are the worst of the worst. They are the worst.
Imagine?
I can't imagine.
Allegedly. So
like,
say
I've
that
already
his name
read.
come out.
Yeah.
The president of the United States that owns this stuff, they letting this come on. Stop playing.
I just need somebody to explain to me, like I'm a 5-year-old, why he hasn't been impeached yet. I do not understand. We have so many grounds. Somebody explain it to me like I'm stupid. Why hasn't he been impeached yet?
Ma'am,
this is what they need to be doing right now.
His party is in power. And they
I would be dropping papers every week till it was their problem.
That dude literally, I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't know if y'all heard that recording. He's like, if I go down, I'm taking everybody with me. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's a true statement. I don't know if that was him. It could have been AI, but allegedly. So that's another part of that whole reason. You ain't gonna be able to just if somebody that comes down, yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of fall for that. Right. So that's why they're not gonna let that happen, bro. They ain't gonna let
Black,
all
come
that. I
on.
told you that.
Because I want you to get into, because you haven't gotten into
It's too much, bro.
details of it.
It's
It's
too
too
much
much.
for one night, all the
Okay.
conspiracies and shit. But I think part of the reason why they haven't sought impeachment or get him out of office because the plan ain't been carried out yet. They still need to carry out the plan. And I
Thank
believe
you,
he was
Black.
installed. I think
What
he was
plan is
installed
that?
because I think what's going on now?
I agree.
Israel
I agree.
got to move. They got to move right now. And he's been installed because
Absolutely.
I don't think he won the presidency. I think he lost.
There you go.
They know that.
And
There you go.
they
No,
needed him in because that's why I believe that a president is not the same. What's happening would have happened regardless if Harris got in. No, they needed Trump in because they knew the dirt that they had on him and they knew that they can blackmail him. So we got to get him in at all costs. Look at what the billionaires have been able to accomplish in 1 year. Look at what Israel
probably
has been able to.
trillionaires.
Yeah, look at what Israel has been able to accomplish. They need the Middle East to be in chaos so they can gain power. And if Trump is impeached, who's to say JD Vance is as compromised as Trump and he's going to do everything Trump, like they
No.
can blackmail Trump. So
Mhm.
I think the reason why is going on, and again this is just my opinion based
This is
on
all alleged. This is all alleged.
based
All
on
alleged.
the conspiracies that I have read. So don't say that, oh, I can't believe you think like that and all that. I'm talking about for the people who not on the what's name and may hear this months later, but it's too much stuff out there. All you got to do is just start connecting the dots and do the research. And this is not just I go to the left what they call not leftists but liberals and far left people, news media. I seek the truth, and well the truth lead me, that so be it. I don't give a damn if it's if a Republican is doing right, I'm gonna vote for a Republican. I'll be a Republican. But if it's a Democrat is doing right, then I'm gonna be a Democrat. I don't do labels. I support people that is about humanity. Just unfortunately,
I can dig it.
the Republican Party that we know today is not the conservative party of the 80s. Is not. Is not. And I don't care how much people try to say it is. It is absolutely not. They off their rockers. The stuff because the Republicans of the 80s, Trump never would have got reelected.
What's the
Never
biggest
would have got
freaking dope
reelected.
dealers? Was the biggest dope dealers in American history? Okay, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, that too.
So what do you mean they weren't? They were definitely conservatives.
No, not that, but they cared about they cared about stuff that they don't care about now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, not saying that they was, not saying that there's a difference between drug dealers and child molesters or pedophiles.
Right, 100%.
Big
Agree.
difference.
Yes, sir. Or
So
they
yeah, they
got
might have been they might have been
They
dope
were
dealers
doing it
back then. Yeah, they probably was, but we didn't have video. We didn't have FBI didn't have files that I know of that went back, that they can release. That shit would have been released. I think back in the 80s, the 80 conservative would have released that shit and the president would have been done.
He would have been done. He would have been done.
That's just my opinion.
It all started with the silos of the news, because they created these silos where people can continue to hear the same bullshit over and over and over again and excuse shit that they would have never excused before.
But that started with manipulation back in the 60s, I think, maybe in the 50s, where they determined that if you just run the same cycle so many times, it becomes the truth and people don't care anymore.
Actually started with the Nazis.
Yeah,
in the
right. They were
30s.
the propaganda things.
It started in the
talk-
Nazis
Okay.
in the 30s.
Yeah.
You continue to say the same shit over and over and over again, and then people will start to believe it because they keep hearing the same shit over and over and over again.
Yep, and it must be true.
Started in World War I.
Especially when you look at major news, they be like, "Well, it must be true because they said it on TV." Nah, that don't mean nothing.
Right.
And
there's no like literacy for how to decipher what's bullshit and what's being phrased in a manipulative way. Like, we don't teach our kids that. We spend so much time telling our kids to be seen and not heard, and to not question and not to push back as a society. I don't mean like the individuals here, but I mean like we spend so much time as a society telling kids not to question things, whether it's at church or in school or when they're watching the news. We have taught them that that's benevolent leader, and the role of government is to care for us and to serve us.
Yep.
And you
I
know,
don't know if that's to be true. So,
no,
so
I
you
just
a
mean
teacher
like
talk,
the
I
institutions.
think,
She's in
so,
general.
I'm saying the
okay.
institution, school
Yeah, 'cause
teaches
it,
you, don't push back
Yeah.
on me. I'm the teacher. This is the facts in the book. Read it, learn it.
And that's the
And
Church,
authority is
I've
passed on
church
taught my
everything.
teaches
children that.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
She
I've
no
taught
different
mine.
than me. When she talked to
in the
you,
beginning,
it's like you heard it from me.
yeah. I got what
Absolutely.
you're saying now, Vanessa. I got you. I
Yeah.
thought you was talking about like the youth don't know that shit. These youth is shit. 300
No,
kids got suspended because the other day doing that protest. These kids is they informed.
no, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like and it's a little bit like it's stuff that I recognize in people our age anyway. Like I'll say something, well, I heard it on the news. Well, what did they say on the news? Well, they said that there was a quote that somebody heard something, and like you're like, none of that is admissible in court. That is all hearsay, that is all, speculation, that is circumstantial, but they say it on the news. And then you've got these people who are news illiterate, who do not know how to question authority or, do the detective work to 35% more what? The label. We're that culture that we've been manipulated by our advertising and by our, we're getting inundated with the adjectives and the big bright bubbles that, say like stuff that it trips that dopamine switch, and then we forget to fact check, and we forget to be critical of the information we're receiving. All we know is I got, my jumbo roll of toilet paper is really 4 rolls of toilet paper. You know what I mean? Like, we buy into that shit because we just that's the language that's used for us, not just on a box of macaroni and cheese, but now when they're telling us that, somebody tried to assassinate somebody. That marketing language gets us on board with whatever they're trying to sell us. And, I think it affects older people more, but the institutions are still trying to get us to stop being critical. And I think that's something like, they need to teach that right when they're teaching you how to do your taxes and balance your checkbook in school, instead of hula
Exactly.
hooping and
It's
square
so many
dancing. But
different things. Yeah, it's so many different things. They need to teach financial literacy. They need to
right,
teach, go back to civics, to start teaching, a bill is a bill. This is how you make a bill. They
right.
need to, it's so many different things. And then now, like I said, going back to the fact that one company owns TikTok, CNN, CBS News, Elon Musk owns fucking X. Like you got Fox News, you got all these different outlets that's out there, and it just makes it Facebook like you don't. Who can you trust? And yeah, we can. I can trust Don Lemon, and I can trust Joy Reid. I can trust the Bulwark that I watch constantly because I've been informed for so many years that I know right from wrong, and I know how the Constitution work. I know all of these different things that my kids was never taught.
Right.
So where do they go? I mean, TikTok is a cesspool.
Right.
It is. X is a cesspool. Facebook it is a cesspool. Like
Making my point so
you
good.
don't know.
That's what I mean by we all being compromised, bro.
Yeah, you just don't know.
Well, welcome aboard.
But like the real quick litmus test is if the CEO of that company was on the dais during the inauguration, we can just go ahead and cross them off the list. You know what I mean? Like if you're that close to his pocket, or he's, you know what I mean, or you're putting things in his pocket to get your influence, I don't need your version of the story. It's already tainted, There's I don't know. It's getting harder and harder to find things. I mean,
It is. I
you
want
know.
to address Leroy. Leroy has put a comment in here of why aren't we teaching financial literacy in our home and community? I do. First thing I'm gonna say is Leroy, bring your ass on the show. because you constantly watching. I want you on the show because you one of the most intellectual people that I know that and we've been shipmates for 30 years now. Bring your ass on the show. Number two, you can be able to teach your kids, and I think everybody here has taught their kids financial literacy and right from wrong and everything, all the morals that we all need to teach our kids to be able to make it in society. However, we talking about 10 people when we have 300 million people in this country. So we need to get back to the basics that
Can
the
I
country
say
no
something?
longer teaches. Go ahead. Absolutely.
I think it should be treated the way that we think about school lunch. It should be treated the way we think about kids who are at risk for abuse. You know what goes on in your house, and you can make sure that it's quality, and you can make sure that it's moral and ethical, and that it's based on the latest research and the best information, and you can treat it like it's a living thing and grow and change as you get more information. But you can't guarantee that somebody else is going to be able to do that for their children. You can't guarantee what's going on in that house is moral. You can't guarantee that, there were credit cards in my name and light bills in my name before I was 7 years old. You know what I mean?
Girl,
Look, I'm
you a
just
speak to
country
the
saying, like,
boy.
choir.
sometimes it be like that. You know what I mean? Just for
You
real.
speaking
Like,
to the
sometimes
choir.
that's how it is. And
Hey, listen.
so
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
I
That's
ain't
you ain't
mad.
gonna
That's
tell
what
me
they
no
doing right
more.
now.
Look,
Do you know what I'm
you
saying?
on the bus, God damn it.
I'm just
Yeah, that's
saying,
real.
like,
I can dig it.
there was nobody necessarily around to teach, or some people have somebody who can walk them through that, and who are, not only have the resources to invest financially, or to actually, be in the black when they're balancing their checkbook versus the red, like, but they're also, you have to have the resources to be able to demonstrate that and to model that behavior, but also you have to know it in the first place. And where does that come from if not school? I don't know. That's
And
my soapbox.
my opinion on that is we often say stuff that is important in life. Why don't we teach it at home? But we never say, why don't we teach algebra at home? Why not we teaching calculus at home? Or why we not teaching French at home? We never question that stuff. It's always the stuff that really truly matters that we not teaching at home. So if we can teach all of those other subjects, why can't we add, or why can't we want to teach financial literacy or true history, aside from what they want to tell us? So we're not saying that it shouldn't be taught at home. We're just saying it should be added into the curricula at school,
Yeah.
because most children spend more time at school than they do with their parent, because their parents is working. By the time they get
Working.
home,
Yep.
it's they might have 2 or 3 hours with them, if that, if that much. So there's a multitude of reasons. But yes, Ship, you are right. People on this call, we teach our children the important stuff in life, and financial literacy is one. But who's to say every household understand financial literacy themselves?
Right.
So I don't think
Very
there's
true.
anything wrong with asking the schools to teach financial literacy in school, how to balance the checkbook, how the Constitution work, or how our legislative branch work, or how, like you said, a bill. I still have the song in my head.
A
This is
bill.
a bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Exactly.
just like that shit. You see that shit, and it just
That's how
automatically take you back to seven,
Exactly.
8, 9 years old. You be like, oh man, I remember this. That's how we learn. That is not the case anymore.
And
So
I'm gonna go back
well,
to and I want to go back to what you just said a second ago, because I think it's so important. Real shit. I am more financially literate than my parents are, or were.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And so I learned from them. Don't get me wrong, and I believe that they was probably more financially literate than their parents were. But we didn't. I had to find out a lot of shit on my own. I had to learn a lot of shit on my own to get to the point to where I am today to be able to teach my kids. And then they're gonna take what I did, because I still made a lot of financial mistakes from the time I had a little bit of money to the time I got the money I got now. They're gonna take that and grow more, some more than others. Joaquin is that's gonna be the one. But but like so we can't expect everybody to be on a level where they can teach our kids or teach their kids and understand, and everybody that's where exactly what you was talking about, Vanessa, which is the community has to come in, and we have to have that basic knowledge of. Now granted, back in the day they used to teach us how to write a fucking check. You remember that? We all had to learn how to write a check. We know how, and they taught us how to manage a checkbook, but they ain't tell us how to save money, how much credit meant,
How to invest money.
Money. They didn't teach us any of that. They taught us how to write a check and how to minus, plus,
balance
and
the
minus,
checkbook.
how to balance it. That's it.
Or
Now
budget.
Now it needs to go into more than that. You know what I mean? And that's what you're talking about, is because there's so many parents that don't know how to do that. So how can you expect them to teach their kids something they don't know they deficient in?
That's one of my conspiracy theories, honestly, is that it's all intentional, right? So there are certain parts of information that have disappeared since we were kids, right? So it went from, whether it's about, internment camps or like the real political part of the Civil War, like the Civil War was not about freeing the enslaved people. The Civil War was about money, right? Like, and that we take that piece out of it and we neglect talking about the things that we're now repeating those problems. We take out, kids can't diagram a sentence anymore. They can't do math the long way. They can't, there's a dumbing down. And I think it's because, one, I think that the Christian nationalist movement, I think they want women stupid and barefoot in the kitchen again. I think they want cogs for their machine. I think they want frontline fodder so that they can go get their oil.
They want it to be a white man's world again. A white man's world again.
And I think that the lack of education and how education is funded and how schools get their money and what resources they have. And we know which schools don't get as much money as other schools and which schools statistically have more children who are prospering after graduation. And we know about the prison or the preschool to prison pipeline. I think all of that is intentional. I think it's decades long, if not longer, campaign that is, it's culminating in Project 2025. But I think it's been baby steps along the way to remove information, to dehumanize victims, to enforce the separation of classes and to other people so that you're over there, I'm over here, and obviously over here is better. And I think that those things are happening intentionally because Richie Rich and his daddy need cogs in the wheel, and that's what we're here for.
So
so let me go back. Hold up, right quick. I'm sorry. So let me go back. So you say the Civil War wasn't about slavery?
I mean just about slavery, right? So like
oh, okay.
I mean, like, I'm not saying, okay, let me say that better. Okay.
No, it was about states' rights. No, it's about states' rights. I get caught up in my... No, you're right, Vanessa, you're right. But that was a part of that. That was the whole gambit of they wanted state rights to do what they wanted because they was going to lose money. Right. I'm with you. I'm like, whoa, wait.
So, no, so what I mean is like, but like when kids learn about it today, there are textbooks in use right now that are saying slaves were happy, right? So like there's a humongous difference from what we learned about slavery and the nuance and the layers and the, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, but he wasn't like the person you should be, like he was a flawed human and he did these other things. And so I don't know, like yes, slavery was a huge part of it, but what I'm saying is like that what they taught us and what we know and what my children are being taught now, there's so much missing information and they've dumbed it down so much. you know, I don't know. They just don't get it anymore. And that's kind of why I was pushing back on Chris, because the reason that Zionists feel the way they feel matters when you're dealing with them, and when you are how they got to where they are. Their history, the origin of it matters. And if you don't understand the big picture, you don't address it the same way. So when we don't understand those parts of our history, or how to balance a checkbook, or how to read above a 7th grade level, it's easy to keep you where you're at. It's easy to lie to you. It's easy to manipulate you. It's easy to get you excited that I just bombed Iran and not caring about the fact that I touched little girls.
Yeah. Yep.
No, she's 100% right, and that was gonna be one of my points, is that I think this information is being taught. I think it's being taught to the people that can really understand it. You got to remember, like we kind of talked, you already hit on it. Like I think I don't know if it's 7th grade or 6th grade reading level, just comprehension, reading words, let alone trying to teach somebody else, how to do finances and real history, and how to. So the information is out there. So a lot of times it's just not in certain pockets, and like you alluded to, like some I guess states and some areas in those states get a lot of money. Those schools are doing great. Trust me, my kids are doing great. You know what I mean? So the thing, but there's also schools that are here that aren't doing as great because they don't have that school doesn't get as much funding as the other schools are getting, right? So a lot of that is and a lot of those there's disparities in ages of the parents, right? And some in the groups where the schools aren't getting as much money, that if you go look at the average age of the parent, it's much younger than it is for the schools that are in my district, because those are usually professional people. They usually have the kids later in life, or they have a little bit more life underneath them, so they can teach their kids the proper way to do finances. Like you young, you don't understand it, so you can't really teach people. And then on the flip side of that, there are people that are like where we are. Well, we know, we understand because we've been through all those pitfalls to get where we are, and we like, hey, our kids should carry the ball and continue to run the ball. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it don't, right? So even if you teach, even if the kids have, even if my whole point is, even if the kids have the proper education and they comprehend, it's really about that. It's about how they utilize it to be better. Think about this for a second. I didn't have this. We didn't get this. I didn't get this information that they get. We didn't learn how to do. I mean, we kind of learned how to do it, but we didn't really learn how to invest. Why didn't they teach us about investing? Why didn't they teach us about freaking buying homes? Why didn't they teach us about freaking investing in startup companies before they get big? Because that's how you really make money. How come they teach us those things? They teach you the basics, and we made it through that. What makes you think our kids with more information, faster information, aren't going to be better than us? Now, in the long runs, they say, and I'm sure our parents said the exact same thing about us. They stupid, they lazy. That our parents said the same thing about our generation. Them guys don't know what hard work really is, right? And we're doing the same thing that was done to our parents, because their parents came out of World War II to raise them to say they're weak and they're not smart. And we're doing the exact same thing. They did it to us. Now we're doing it to our kids. Our kids, believe it or not, are a lot beyond where we are at their ages. That's how you. Yes. Hold on. That's how you judge. How are we getting better? Go back and see at the certain age where your children are, where you were in life and where they are in life. Are they ahead of us or are they behind? Because if they're ahead of us, we're doing great, and those kids are doing great. Go ahead, Vanessa. Vanessa.
So I wasn't saying that kids are lazy or stupid. I'm saying that
I am. I say it all the time.
Fucking kids, right? No,
right. That's what I mean.
No, but like what I'm saying is that, like, I think that very intentionally our institutions are letting our kids down, and I think it's on purpose. And the fact that our kids have access to the internet and we have the ability to help them, I think is, it changes it a little bit. But I think that a lot of people don't. I mean, like, how many people take it upon themselves to investigate or to question? Not enough. And so they're not teaching their kids to question. And so if you get a kid that happens to question, a lot of times that gets shut down. And it's, it's you have to have an environment where questioning and pushing back respectfully is acceptable. And you have to be allowed to ask those questions. And I think in a lot of places you're not allowed to. And that's what I'm saying is different. Like, I don't know. I agree with what you said, like that our kids have more opportunity to access the information than we do, but we haven't taught them to want to access that information in general.
You know why? And I talked to my son about this very thing right now.
I think, hold on, I want to say this. I think it's still parents that don't know how or what to teach their kids. I think the majority, I'm gonna just say this. I think a lot of this country, I'm not gonna put a percentage on it, so I'm not gonna say the majority. A lot of this country don't know what to teach their kids because they don't know. They don't know. And at the point we are all on this call, and now we know. But it was a time that we didn't know. We had to learn off of each other, and we still learning off each other. You know what I mean? Like that's what this group is about. That's what this podcast is about. And so to expect, like let's be real. We are the top echelon of this country. We're top third of this country. And so there's a lot of folks that just don't know. And we can't expect them to teach I cannot expect to teach my kid or my grandkid something that I don't know. Just can't. And that's not my fault. That's not their mama fault. That ain't nobody's fault. I don't know it. So how can I expect to teach them something like that? And that's what it goes back to what Vanessa was saying is that's why you need to have that curriculum in schools that they're taking away from schools. You know what I mean? Because the majority of people in this country, and I am going to say it, the majority of these people in the country don't know what they should be teaching their kids because they don't know. And we were lucky enough, we were blessed enough, whatever adjective you want to use, we were in a position to be able to learn it ourselves and be able to pass it down to our kids to stop it for our generation and for our DNA. But there's millions of people who still will continue to suffer if we don't say we need to make sure that this gets back in the schools.
Right.
Again, I'll continue to say it. We are where we are as a country because we're a selfish fucking country. We don't have universal health care because we're a selfish fucking country. And we don't want us, because I want to be able to get to the doctor whenever I know I need to go there because I'm in great health. But when I want to go, I want to need to be able to get there. So I need to keep all these other people off because when I want to make that appointment, I want the appointment to be tomorrow. I want the appointment to be today. I need to be able to get in there.
Right.
That's why we ain't got universal health care.
I agree.
Manifest destiny. Me.
Listen, that's
the
number one.
Hold on. It goes further than that.
Yeah.
Why don't we have pensions in this country anymore? Simple. Instead of people who don't have pensions saying, I need a pension, we need a collective bargain. We need to make sure that instead of fuck this 401k shit, because that's that, I ain't gonna say a Ponzi scheme, but that is a way to put money in the market to make rich people get more money, and us get peons because truly I can't afford to put money in a 401k, but that's the only thing that you're offering me instead of a pension. So instead of people saying they got a pension, I need a pension, they're saying to teachers, they got a pension, but I don't have one. Why do they have a pension? They don't need a pension. because I don't have one. So we went from let's all get the same thing and progress to if I ain't got it, neither should they.
Because somebody decided socialism was a dirty word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a pension ain't socialism. It's not.
No, I just mean
No,
taking care of each other and wanting your neighbor to have.
Exactly.
I got to be bigger and better and better. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
Yeah. It's
I
absolutely
agree, but
ridiculous.
that's why a lot of times when people talk about religion a lot, I don't really like talking about religion because ain't nobody a true anything. I mean, honestly, right? So, but that's one of the first tenets in but I do know treat others like you want to be treated is a pretty.
That's the golden rule.
One or
That's
two.
how I
Is
live
that the
my
number
life.
one thing, second thing, or something? Is that the number one rule? Treat people like you want to be treated. Is that
No,
love?
love is number one.
Yeah, no, right. But it's pretty high up there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But you treat people like you want to be treated. Love is like treating people like, I mean, it's the ultimate thing. But everything falls underneath that because if you don't have love, you can't do any of the things. Any of those things, really, right? But the whole point is 100% right. How can you call yourself any religion if you allow people in your country that provide for your country, sweat, blood, and tears, and they ain't got to be in the military. They can go out there and cut grass and take the trash out or sweep a street. They're contributing to the betterment of this country. You don't want to have things that can take care of these people in the health wise, or you don't want to really kind of try to take care of these same people that work their tail off and not have them set up for life, like the pensions. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that portion.
Because of rationing. They think they're gonna be rationed out where they can't get into the doctor when right now, no matter how much they gotta pay, because the premiums went up so much. But you know what? When I'm ready to access it, when I'm ready to go to the doctor, I can. And I don't want somebody that don't work, that don't have a home, to be able to go to the doctor at the same time frame that I need to go when I need to go.
Right.
It's fucking selfishness. And that's the problem with this country. That is why we voted for Donald Trump once again. Selfishness.
Yeah. Okay.
And because you're selfish, that is why we have a selfish president. We have a narcissistic, because you were narcissistic is why we have a narcissistic president. All right, y'all. We don't win a whole hour, and I'm about to blow a bladder. So let's change it up and let's clean our palettes. I don't know if anybody have anything. I have something great for
I
my
have one.
palette. Hold on, let me put the caption up. Where we at? There we go.
Nah.
All right, Vanessa, you up.
My Clean My Palette has made my entire apartment smell amazing.
Oh,
this is my Clean My Palette. I know it's backwards because of cameras, but I just tell you, this is about to be a very bad habit. That's all I'm gonna say. Because oh my goodness, my whole house smells amazing. Maintenance guy came over today and he was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Let me tell you." So one customer at a time. We're recruiting.
So what does it smell? What smell did you get? And if you don't mind sharing, where did it come from?
So this is from the Evolve Candle Company, and it's from the Affirmations collection. It says, "Your presence is a gift to the world." They have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. You should definitely check out. And I can't identify the individual scents. It's just comfy. It's a good smell. You walk in and it's like, okay, I can relax here. Like it's just a good smell. I can't explain it. I don't know the individual scents in it, but highly recommend. You should go check it out.
Are black y'all up next? Mika, what is this scent?
I was told that candle is citrus and white tea.
It's lovely. It's seriously, it's lovely is like, it's the best word I can come up with. Amazing. And I am so appreciative.
Right, where you get it from?
She's in the background and she says she's so appreciative.
Well, thank you.
Wait, Wait, that wifey black? She make candles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, you gotta send me the link, bro. What you mean?
I
ain't
get
know
it to
about
you.
that. Yeah, I ain't know
Evolve.
about that.
It's on
Yeah.
Put it on
Instagram
the
and
Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, put it on
As
in the
Evolve.
comments, Black.
Yeah.
Put it on the comment, baby. She's gonna put it in the comments.
It's evolve, like the
Correct.
word, like the actual word evolve.
Yep. Evolve Counter Company.
Okay.
It's a web page too. She got a web page as well.
Do it yourself, everything.
No,
Wow.
I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can.
And look, when the lapis is back in stock, I need to know.
When the who?
The lapis.
You know what you're talking about, the lapis. Back in stock.
Oh, the blue one. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, she said the blue stone. Okay. She know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I need to know when it's back because that's on my Christmas list for me.
Will do.
That was it. That was my cleanse my palette.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Like you have anything?
No, I don't think I got anything.
Oh, Mika Black. That's your wife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you now. Yep, I got it.
Yep.
I was like,
and you should be able to find Evolve Counter Company from that.
I'm already following. Yeah, I got the link.
Okay.
All right, hold on one second, yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on one second. There we go. There we go. So this is the candle company right here, Evolve, and the scents are outstanding.
And it's lasted forever. I've had it for like 2 weeks, I think.
So there's all scents and as well as vases and different ways that the candles to use. So please.
I'm about to share with all my people.
Some stuff. And it's outstanding. It's outstanding scent and smell. It truly is.
For sure.
All right, Black. Do you have anything to clean your palate?
No, I think I'm gonna hold off. We gotta get some more stuff together before I make the announcement, but not at the moment.
All right.
Mika says she's not pregnant.
All right. Why is it not letting me? No, I want to end the stream. All right, Ronnie, you got something to clean your palate? Hold on, I'm trying to put it back to where it was.
For me, cleaning my palate, man, is just getting back on the pod. Finally, thanks for everybody showing up, everybody support, everybody out here. Bobby, thank you so much for getting us back online, back in the game. So we can continue to share can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So we can continue to share the messages that we're sharing, and people, getting in the game with us, sharing their views, like, share, and subscribe. I mean,
absolutely.
As Bobby has going on, we gonna getting it in. So the more we grow, you grow. So thank you again for supporting us, Bobby, or getting us out here, Bobby, and Black and Vanessa always contributing to our strange conversations and our opinions, and it's all love. So thanks, Bobby. That's my clean the palate.
Thank you. And so for me, my youngest grandchild had his first birthday, and he is number 5 in the sequence when it comes to the Roberts. And
Nice.
so my clean my palate is we had the four
Whoa,
living Roberts all in one picture.
That's great.
that's
So
dope. Then.
There's something
and
gross all over your
got
shirts,
on
but
the
otherwise, that's a great picture.
ugliest damn color there
I don't
is.
know about them shirts, dog.
I'm pretty sure they can call the people for doing that to a baby.
Hey, you know how
So
rare
yeah,
that is, bro? You know how rare
yeah,
that is?
it's 4 of us. We got Robert Jr., and then I'm the 3rd, and then my son is the 4th, and then Cinco is the 5th. So
That's
this
so cool.
picture right here means so much to me for all 4 of us, to be in a picture together. And so that's how I'm cleaning my palate tonight is off of that right there. It really was a great party and a great weekend, a great week actually, because we had family out for a couple weeks. And that's it. That's it. I wanted to clean my palate with that. Next Wednesday I will be traveling, so I won't be able to do it next Wednesday, the pie, because I'm gonna be traveling in the air, actually in the air. But we will be back the week after.
Alright.
So but thank y'all. I love y'all. I think this was again always. I truly appreciate being on the pod with y'all. This we are again, we are all shipmates, and I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. This we are 3 hours in. Been a while since we did 3-hour pod, but I think it was informative. I learned a lot because I did not know the difference between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism, and what Zionist actually meant in and of itself. So I appreciate that, and I love y'all. And yeah, I want to go pee and go eat.
We got some more we got some more conspiracy stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we do. We do. We have another one.
We only touch about 2 things.
Yeah.
Get
We didn't
out
even
there,
get to
vote,
Bigfoot.
No, we ain't get the Bigfoot. We ain't get to the
We
moon.
talk about man, yeah, right. Oh, we ain't get to the moon. Oh, hey, we
Mm-mm.
gotta hit that. I wrote a paper on that one.
Yeah. Really?
Oh yeah. I wrote a paper that we never went to the moon.
Okay.
Oh man, I gotta hear it. Guys,
Yeah.
to hear.
I got to send it to you.
Hey.
I got an A+ on that jank.
What you said, A+?
Do you really still have it?
Yeah, I still got it.
Dude, I'm texting you my email. I want it. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 16-page paper I had to write on that. I was, and I did it to be funny, and then I started realizing we can talk about this next time. But this is
OP.
interesting. Listen,
Yeah.
Listen, and this proof. You know what I mean? Like undeniable stuff. So I mean, please tune in if we're gonna show on that one, dog.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
I'll send it to you. Shoot it to me.
I love y'all.
All right, y'all take it easy.
All right.